gets Air Wing, and so do the Marines.
Exactly.
And the Army, and so therefore.
Why, you little man! You make me want to vomit!
But they created their own division.
And
so that's
Kyle
cool.
McCarty is an Air Force member.
He's a veteran.
Yeah,
Silly
veteran.
donut!
So happy birthday to the Air Force. Where is he, over there?
He's over there.
What's up, Kyle?
Hey.
Yeah, man. All right, let's see if we can get an answer to the stupid question this morning. What does the B stand for when referring to camera shutter speed? 215-263-WMMR. We're going to go to Adam, see if he knows the answer. Yo, Adam, good morning.
Good morning, it.
Good morning to see you, Adam. What does the B stand for, please?
Bulb.
Bulb. He is correct. Hang on a second, bud. Got you a pair of tickets to see John Mayer solo acoustic tour with special guest JP Sachs Saturday, October 7th at the Wells Fargo Center, and tickets are on sale now via wellsfargocenterphilly.com. At the box office this weekend, number one again was The Nun 2.
It's pretty wild.
I know. Did anybody see the first one?
I did.
Is it okay?
It's really not. And I'm a big fan of the Conjuring
really
series.
Steve's review.
Yeah,
It's
well,
really
listen,
not.
no, I saw the tomato review was the same thing. It was this kind of a stinker, and I'm like, well, why is this one doing so well?
See, that's weird that it picked up this head of steam. I think that it found life, just streaming. Actually, the character in The Conjuring 2, Preston, is amazing.
Okay.
And the way that she makes her debut. But I'm like, it was too much. Too much.
Okay, so The Nun 2 is number one, followed by Haunting in Venice. Equalizer 3 is third. Then you have My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3, Barbie, Jawan, Blue Beetle, Gran Turismo, Oppenheimer is ninth, and wrapping up the top 10 was Teenage Mutant Ninja
Finally saw
Turtles.
Barbie, the movie. I saw it over the weekend.
Oh, yeah?
And I thought it was well done.
Yeah.
And Kathy, there appears to be so many Easter eggs in the actual equipment that they're using that seems to be really, down to the food that she has in her house that she eats seems to be exactly what you would find. I mean, they were very precise about it.
I still have not seen it. Maybe, wait, is it still?
You can get
Kathy,
it. It's streaming. You can get it.
You can do it now. Okay,
Yeah.
so this week I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna sit down and watch it.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if you didn't find 500 things that you recognize from the toys.
I love how in the dream house she turns on the shower and just nothing comes out.
Yeah.
She's just pretending.
Right. And I see they point out, which I thought was great, and I didn't understand it in the trailer, is that you never make the Barbie go down the stairs in the dream house. You just pick her out of the house and
yeah.
So that's what she does.
Yep.
She floats out of the house.
It's great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right. I've got some stories. We're going to start with this. Drew Barrymore announced Sunday that she will pause her daytime talk show until the ongoing writer's
You
strike
gotta be kidding!
is resolved. She said, I've listened to everyone and I am making the decision to pause the show's premiere until the strike is over.
Preston, as a passionate druid, I am very upset by this.
You're a druid? The druids.
I've maybe seen 7 seconds of her talk show.
So, I mean, this is kind of a big deal because they were picketing her. She was going to go forward, and they started picketing, and she's like, okay, I changed my mind.
Yeah.
She said, I have no words to express my deepest apologies to anyone I have hurt, and of course to our incredible team who works on the show and has made it what it is today. We really tried to find our way forward, and I truly hope for a resolution for the entire industry very soon. While she is not a member of the Writers Guild and her Screen Actors Guild status was unaffected by her daytime gig, the resuming of her show was considered a crossing of the picket line anyway.
Thing sucks!
Some people don't like it. So this is interesting. Russell Brand has been accused of, quote, rape, sexual assaults, and emotional abuse. We'll have a clip for this, by the way. In a new report that was published in the Sunday Times of London over the weekend, 5 women shared their stories with the outlet, which allegedly occurred between 2006 and 2013. One woman accused the Forgetting Sarah Marshall actor of emotional and sexual abuse during a 3-month-long relationship when she was 16 years old, and he was in his 30s. She described something that I cannot describe here that apparently caused her to choke. An anatomy thing here. So she also said that he would call her the child and asked her to read passages of Lolita while they were together. Other accusations include one woman who said she was raped by the actor in his Hollywood Hills home in 2012, and another woman claimed he sexually assaulted her at his West Hollywood home in 2013. His former personal assistant, Helen Berger, also told the outlet that she witnessed him showing, quote, intimate pictures of women to his friends including photos of someone that she knew. So he has denied the allegations, and we have a clip of him. He posted a video on YouTube, and this is part of what he had to say.
These allegations pertain to the time when I was working in the mainstream, when I was in the newspapers all the time, when I was in the movies, and as I've written about extensively in my books, I was very, very promiscuous. Now, during that time of promiscuity, the relationships I had were absolutely always consensual.
So that's what he has to say.
So we'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, absolutely. Other news, speaking of sexual issues, Ashton Kutcher has resigned as chairman of the board of his anti-child sex abuse organization that he co-founded after he and Mila Kunis wrote letters seeking leniency for convicted rapist Danny Masterson.
I agree with his reasoning behind it because he'd be a distraction from the mission of the organization.
Exactly.
And so they don't need that. He can still support it.
Yes.
But he was the initial face, got it up and running, and now he can step away.
Yeah. He stepped down from the board of Thorn. That's what it's called, an organization that he founded with his then wife, Demi Moore, in 2009. He had said in a letter to the board, after my wife and I spent several days, of listening, personal reflection, learning, and conversations with survivors and the employees and leadership at Thorn, I've determined that the responsible thing for me to do is resign as chairman of the board effective immediately.
And he also said, how about that Russell Brand?
He said, I cannot allow my error in judgment to distract from our efforts
Look over there.
and the children we serve.
No, they've done good work. His organization has done very good work.
And you're right, though. This is the right move because it is just a distraction.
It's a distraction.
The cause is the more important thing. He said in his resignation letter that he offered, quote, my heartfelt apology to all victims of sexual violence and everyone at Thorn who I hurt by what I
encourage
did.
you all to read about Russell Brand.
All right. Here's an interesting story. Steve Martin has adamantly denied physically assaulting a fellow actor while filming. Martin was slammed this week as, quote, horrid by former Little Shop of Horrors co-star Miriam Margolyes.
What?
Who said he repeatedly punched, slapped, and knocked her down while filming simulated punches and various other stunts. So it's interesting. She's the woman who said that Arnold Schwarzenegger farted in her face.
Oh, that's the same one.
Same woman.
Okay.
And
okay.
I don't.
Farted in my face.
I don't remember her in Little Shop of Horrors. I don't know who she played, but she goes on to say, "My memory is that we had a good." Or no, this is what Steve Martin said. He said, my memory is that we had a good communication as professional actors, but when it is implied that I harmed her or was in some way careless about doing the stunts, I have to object. I remember taking extreme caution, he said. He told the outlet that Margolyes even told him that she was okay after they finished filming that particular scene and claimed director Frank Oz and other crew members were actively attentive to any concerns or issues regarding the simulated acts. So this has come up in, I believe, her memoirs. So it's not like she's like going after him or anything like that. But she did write. Okay, I guess she was his assistant in the dentist scene.
Oh, okay.
He farted in my face.
He was punching people in the face and stuff like that.
Right. It was a part of it was actually very funny in that.
He was a sadist, yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole premise.
So Oz explained there was never any physical contact between me and her, accidental or otherwise, in this scene or any other that we shot. That's what people said. Oz explained that he purposely always rehearsed scenes like this and didn't see anything resembling actual violence. Frank Oz said the scene was supposed to include a fake punch. It's puzzling what she's talking about. It's not the Steve I know or anyone knows. He's always been professional and respectful of everyone on all of my shoots.
You know what's lacking in all this stuff is her sitting, hey, Steve, here she is. Do you have something you want to say to Steve? What happened?
Yeah.
Well, it's one person saying it in one direction, the other person saying it in another direction, and they don't converse, and it all goes out in the press, and there's no resolution.
Well, this is what it's in her book.
Yeah.
So this is the portion. It said, I was hit all day by doors opening in my face, repeatedly punched, slapped, and knocked down by an unlovely and unapologetic Steve Martin. Perhaps he was method acting and came home grumpy. So that's the extent of it, I guess. So that's she's just talking about her experiences on the set of that movie. So
cannibalistic plant on that set. There were bigger things to worry about.
Right, exactly. Well, Hugh Jackman and Deborah Lee Furness have announced their plans to separate after nearly 3 decades of marriage.
Something is over!
I don't know.
It sucks.
I know, right?
I mean, I think you could always turn to them and look at how well they were handling everything. But it's over.
It's over.
It's over.
Nothing is over.
In a
This one is over.
In a statement shared with People, the couple said, we have been blessed to share almost 3 decades together as husband and wife in a wonderful, loving marriage. Our journey now is shifting, and we have decided to separate to pursue our individual growth.
So what do you, if you were to guess, I mean, have they just grown apart? Is he, you know, where is he? I mean, I bet you he'll be fairly candid about it, and she will probably as well, because I've seen her interviewed.
Well, there's the two kinds of breakups. I'm sure there's more than two, but you have the erosion, and you have the explosion,
right?
You know, and maybe this is the eroding type.
Maybe they want to go see what else is out there. Or?
Yeah. So they had written further and said, our family has been and always has been our highest priority. We undertake this next chapter with gratitude, love, and kindness. We greatly appreciate your understanding and respecting our privacy as our family navigates this transition in all of our lives. They signed the statement with Deb and Hugh Jackman, concluding this is the sole statement either of us will make.
Hugh, how do you feel when Deb says those things?
This is their therapist.
John Rambo, marriage counselor.
You're better than that.
You're better than that. I want you to feel relaxed and comfortable and know I'm here for you.
By the way, the Australian power couple have been married for more than 27 years. They share 2 children together. Oscar,
My daughters?
Well, Ava is their daughter, who's 18.
Yes, about your daughter.
And Oscar is 23.
Would you like some Vegemite?
Jackman first met Furness in 1995 on the set of the Australian TV series called Corelli. And at the time, she was an established actress, and he was fresh out of drama school.
She was a big star.
Yeah, was just making his foray into acting. Despite their 13-year age gap, the pair quickly fell head over heels and for each other. And less than a year later, they were married.
So how old is she now and how old is he now?
You know what?
He's 107.
I don't have their ages.
She's
Case.
67 and he's 54.
Okay.
They use different numbers in Australia.
Ah, the metric system.
Yeah.
That's gotcha. Okay.
She's 10 kilograms.
And the water goes the other way around the
down the Durain.
Is that true?
It does.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
below
believe
the
so.
equator.
Yeah. All right. So anyhow, that was sad to see.
It was very sad.
Love Hugh Jackman.
I, for some reason, it was always sort of a nice thing that they were able to maintain their relationship and all the hubbub.
I thought they were the full-on long haul.
Yeah.
So this is the interesting thing. I was telling you about Chris Rock earlier. Leslie Jones spoke with People magazine in a recent interview about how the infamous Oscar slap really affected her friend and fellow comedian Chris Rock. She told the outlet he was humiliated by Will Smith slapping him. She said, people need to understand his daughters. She said,
My daughters?
need to understand that his daughters
Why do you say it like that?
and his parents.
It's daughters. What are you, a moron?
That's the Pope.
I
My
thought it was
daughters?
pretend that you were stupid. That is true. Daughters.
How do you say it?
Daughters.
Oh, thank you, sir.
That's how you say it. Unless you're stupid.
So this is what Leslie
Love you in
Jones.
Daybreak.
Leslie Jones had to say about Chris Rock. She said, people need to understand his daughters, his parents, they saw that. He had to go to counseling with his daughters.
My daughters?
She added, everybody got pissed off about him doing a special. She said, well, that's what comedians do. Instead of us going crazy, we talk about it on the effing stage. And she said, thank God we've got the stage. But apparently he had to go and have somebody talk to him about coping with this.
You got your face slapped in front of the world.
Yeah.
And that was the biggest story. And he took some time. And I think, Will Smith has done sort of tacit, olive branch extensions. But I don't think Chris Rock has really accepted any of them.
No.
It really made a profound impact.
Yeah.
Figuratively and literally.
Literally.
My daughter taught me that word.
TMZ reports that Lamar Odom crashed his Mercedes-Benz into 2 parked cars last week.
He's kind of tough because he's got to drive with his head out the sunroof.
The former basketball star's rep said that he lost control of the vehicle while driving home from a friend's house at 3 a.m. after dropping his cell phone in the car.
Oh, that's what it was.
Cell phone?
Luckily,
My daughters?
Luckily,
Have you ever had that?
no one was hurt. Oh, absolutely.
What is the worst thing in the world? Well, of course, there's cancer and genocide. Which is but when your cell phone slides between the seat,
oh, it sucks.
under the mechanism of the chair.
As far as dropping things though while driving though, when I was a smoker, if you dropped a cigarette while you were driving,
It's lit.
it's like it's worse than spilling something.
Yeah.
It's because you've got to get that now because it's going to burn a hole in the carpet, in the seat, or whatever,
Right, yeah.
and you could have an accident. But I've dropped so many things while driving, and I've told my kids, when I was teaching them to drive, I'm like, listen, this is going to happen to you.
Right.
You're going to drop a fully open beverage. It's going to spill all over the place. Something's going to dump out on. Don't worry about it. Just let that go. It's going to be a mess. You're going to have to clean it up. But whatever you do, pull over first and don't worry about the phone or whatever you drop.
No, it's good advice.
I have accidentally jerked the wheel because I went to go grab something and I slammed into a fence.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So
I think also sometimes it's just a convenient excuse for somebody who's driving home at 3 a.m. and
this is true.
Maybe a few cocktails on the way home and or before leaving, and I dropped my phone.
Quite possible. Yes. All right, couple other things here. This is nice. People report said Beverly Hills 90210 cast members, Shannon Doherty, Tori Spelling, Jason Priestley, Jenny Garth, Ian Ziering, Brian Austin Green, and Gabrielle Carteres had all reunited at 90s Con in Tampa, Florida over the weekend. And Doherty, who has been diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer, teared up as she received a standing ovation toward the end of the event.
So she technically right now is in remission, right?
I don't know. There are so many ladies, actresses that are dealing with heavy issues, medical issues that I forget who's who and what condition
I think she is.
Can you be stage 4 and be in remission at the same time?
Well, it says stage 4, yeah. So
the last thing I read said that it was in stasis, and I assumed that meant it was in remission, or I don't know. Whatever it is, it's when the news first came out, it seemed very, very. I mean, it is austere. It is a serious thing, but she seems to be doing okay.
Wow.
It says here in this clip in June, the cancer had spread to her brain, Steve.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Removed, and so I don't know. But there are a lot of people that are dealing with these. You have Christina Applegate. You have the MS situation with the actress
Selma
Blair, and so a lot of people are facing. Does Alyssa Milano? Is she have a cancer
she's
scare?
just got a hairy stomach.
Oh,
she's got a hairy beef. She's got a man trail down to her cooter.
So according to a report in June, it's terminal and it spread to her brain for sure.
Oh my God,
Shannon Doherty. So I don't think, Steve, that it is in
How
remission.
recent was that?
This is June.
Okay. So
I am Alyssa Milano, and I deal with a manly patch of hair down to my crotch.
She told the audience, thank you so much. You guys know how much I love crying constantly, and I do, it seems, so thank you. And she also spoke with the outlet on Sunday about her battling with cancer. Said, I have a fight for my life that I deal with every day, and I think I'm really great, she said. So she appreciated the audience. Yeah, absolutely.
I would, by the way, those 90s cons are pretty cool if you see some of the collections of people that they have those things.
Well, there was another one, another notable moment. Mark Paul Gosselaar reflected on the moment he almost quit acting during the 90s con. He, of course, he was in Saved by the Bell. I'm sorry. I'm reading the way this is written is all messed up. He was devastated when Fox canceled the series Pitch, in which he played catcher Mike Lawson in 2017. He said, I wanted to quit the industry after that ended. He said that was one of those you feel like in your lifetime you're not going to be handed an opportunity like this. So for that to pass in the fashion that it did, it was sort of a gut punch. He said that's a role, though, that I don't make light of, but I had to go to therapy with my wife.
Wow.
After losing that one. So
How did he feel about Franklin and Bash?
He didn't comment on Franklin.
That was a law show,
I think it was a law show.
It was about law.
About law. Let me see here. What else do I want to hit here before we move on to clips? How about this? Yeah, Steve, here's a little industry news as far as money and stuff goes. Media mogul Byron Allen, who we talked about not too long ago. He started a stand-up comedian, did a few TV shows. He has offered $10 billion to the Walt Disney company to purchase its ABC television network.
Byron Allen.
He has $10 billion?
Yes. Yeah, Casey.
He does.
There was a time, as you well know, on reality TV shows early on, he was a moderately successful stand-up comedian. But he's like a Tyler Perry type. He just knows how to make it work, and he's worth billions now.
Yep. In addition to the cable networks, FX and National Geographic, he wants to buy all of that.
They might consider that, too.
They are. Actually,
Yeah.
the bid would include ABC's national TV network as well as several regional stations. The offer is a preliminary and could change at any time, but the $10 billion figure is based on an estimation that the networks accrued $1.25 billion in earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization within the past year.
My
I don't
eyes are
understand
rolling
all that.
white.
But Disney CEO Bob Iger had signaled in July that Disney was open to selling some of its television assets.
Byron Allen says this would be his opportunity to reactivate Franklin and Bash.
This as consumers continue to flock to streaming networks, eclipsing traditional television and cable. And since then, the company has been in talks with potential buyers, including local broadcaster Nexstar. It's just amazing that he can go around and make $10 billion offers.
It's insane.
Wow.
And,
okay.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yep. All right, clips. We doing those?
Yeah, we can try.
Excited.
Well, I think they're mystery clips.
Yeah, I mean, they're not over yet, so,
Oh.
Hey, you know what? Screw it. Let's just play this clip, and I don't really care. And
All right.
then you guys can raise your hands and let me know what you think.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
Here we go.
Yeah, you could get on it and ride on the horse. I used to love that.
I'm scared of horses.
I have to recuse
As
myself.
big as you are?
I'm scared of horses to this day, Tiff. I don't know why. I just scared of them. You ain't never seen me in a scene with a horse.
You are
I'd have
so
been in a
right.
scene with ostriches, iguanas. Ain't never been in a scene with a horse. I don't know why.
Steve sent that clip over to us. It's Snoop Dogg talking about why he's afraid of horses.
Yeah, he's talking to Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah.
Iguanas?
I love how he's going,
yeah,
I'm afraid of horses.
It was in Starsky and Hutch. He had the whole iguana.
I just like how he says it.
Play that clip again. I want to hear it.
Yeah, you could get on it and ride on the horse. I used to love
I'm
that.
scared of horses.
What? As big as you are?
I'm scared of horses to this day, Tiff. I don't know why. I just scared of them. You ain't never seen me in a scene with a horse.
You are
I'd have
so
been in a
right.
scene with ostriches, iguanas. Ain't never been in a scene with a horse. I don't know why.
So, speaking of horses, walking out of the Eagles game on Thursday night, there were a couple of guys on horses. Not police officers, but like inner city, horse stable guys.
Right, like Idris Elba movie.
One dude was just standing like straight up on top of the saddle. And I was like, okay. And he just was standing there. And I'm like, okay, if this horse decides to take off, like, you're done, bro.
Well, trick riders will ride standing up and stuff like that, which
Horse
is sort of
surfing.
wild. But yeah. Wow.
We have a picture of it. That's the exact horse that he was standing on.
That must be what this guy does.
Okay.
But you know what? Here's the thing about Snoop, and you can defend him a little bit. They are huge animals. I love horses.
I love them,
and
too.
I like to ride them, and have done so many times in my lifetime. But they can do what they want to do. They are so big. I can see why somebody might go, man, I'm not going
They'll
near
take
that
a bite
thing."
out of you, too,
Yeah.
if they're pissed.
Yep. All right, here is the next clip. So the drama film Seven Veils follows a theater director who is dealing with repressed trauma as she prepares to mount a production of an opera. And here, director Atom Egoyan talks about the complexity of the main character.
What became super compelling was this idea of a character who's completely aware of her traumas, like the childhood trauma, the stuff that happened to her during her childhood. It wasn't the cliche that kind of bubbles to surface unexpectedly. In fact, she goes into this knowing full well what the material is.
I don't think I want to see it.
Seven Veils is in theaters now. Here's our next clip. The Retirement Plan, starring Nicolas Cage, is a new comedy adventure film. And in this clip, director Tim Brown talks about the inspiration of making this movie.
It came from the location. And then once I knew the location, I asked myself a question. I said, what if John Wick decided to finally retire and just become a drunk on the beach for 25 years and then have to be, would he still have his quickness? Would he still have his abilities kind of thing?
I don't think I want to see it.
The Retirement Plan is streaming on platforms now. Nicolas Cage is in this?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's always good.
Yeah.
Always fun. Even when he's not good, he's good.
That's it. That's the entertainment report for today. All right. The main thing we want to focus on today is it's the kickoff of Crumb Bum Cash.
That's right.
We have a chance to win $1,000. Not once, twice, three. Not one, two, three.
1, 2, 3.
5 times today. And that's every day, Monday through Friday, for the foreseeable future. We do this usually for a stretch of weeks.
You're a real crumb bum.
So all you got to do is at 8 o'clock, that's our first shot for you to win, is just listen for the keyword we give you. We'll tell you how to enter it, and then you sit back and wait.
It's the easiest
grand
you'll ever make.
Yep. And so we do that at 8, 10, noon, 3, and 5.
1, 2, 3.
And 1, 2, 3. And it starts today. So we'll take a break. We'll come back in a moment or two. We'll let you do the things you need to do, working your way in this morning, and we'll chat in just a moment or two. But get yourself ready. 8 o'clock, your first shot to win that money. We'll be right back. I should play that piece of audio.
Okay. It's real short.
It's very, very quick. It's not an audio illusion or anything like that. But do you know? We don't know where this is. Graduation ceremony. It looks like a college graduation.
It was
ceremony.
college graduation,
and as you walk up, this is your moment. This is your family is there. It's your time to shine. You get your name said with the thousands of people in attendance. You walk across the stage. You grab your diploma that you've worked so hard for.
And paid a lot for.
This is the culmination.
And as you're walking, they announce your name.
Julie Jerkoff. Forgive me, Kirkhoff.
What? Are you serious?
Yes.
This is legit.
Julie
Too legit to quit.
Wait, one more time. One more time. Quiet, everyone, please. It's her moment.
Yeah.
Julie Jerkoff. Forgive me, Kirkhoff.
Oh, my God.
Forgive me.
Julie Jerkoff. Forgive me, Julie Handjob. Forgive me, Julie Handy. Forgive me, Julie Blumpkin. Forgive me, Julie Dirty Sanchez. Oh, my God.
Julie Jerkoff. Forgive me, Kirkhoff.
Oh.
Wow.
You know what, though? That's better than just having your name read that most people are missing anyway.
You know she was called Jerkoff throughout all her life.
It had to have been a nickname at some point, or her friends.
Julie Jerkoff.
Yeah.
Or Julie Jerkoff. Forgive me, Kirkhoff.
If you think about
Julie Oh, my God. I can't believe I said that.
Or that professor won a nice bet.
Yeah.
Said she would do it. And
Julie Salad Tosser. Oh, it's not even close.
If you think about it, in high school, she probably had Jerkoff as a, I wouldn't even say a nickname. You know, they made fun of her.
Maybe even her friends would call her that because it's such an obvious. But
And then she gets to college where everybody matures a little bit and she loses the Jerkoff for a couple of years.
It's
and
clear.
then boom.
Kirkhoff is I mean, you can come into that Kirkhoff.
Dude, she's getting her master's degree. It's a Master of Science degree as she goes up and hears
Julie Jerkoff. Forgive me, Kirkhoff.
Well, and she doesn't. If this is the actual video that we're watching, she doesn't even flinch. The girl, Julie.
You know what? When they're doing it,
you
couldn't even hear.
You're so excited, and your focus is walk forward, shake hand, take diploma, walk off. Jerk off.
Jerk off.
Julie
Jerkoff. Forgive me, Kirkhoff.
Well,
you did very well, Miss Jerkoff.
And she sounds so sweet. The woman reading the names.
Please come up to the microphone, Julie Jerkoff, and tell everyone how you achieved your success.
Forgive me.
It's the jerk-off way, I think, that we can all emulate.
Oh, my God.
But there's countless names like that are being butchered in similar ceremonies going on. In fact, this very weekend, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
There'll be mangled names.
Yep, loads of them. You realize anytime we have a caller named Julie, we will have to play
Julie Jerkoff.
It's awesome.
It's the best.
It made my day yesterday when Casey sent that to me.
So, on that one level, is it sort of cool that you have, since she's probably dealt with it her whole life, at least she has a meme now that's attached to her.
Let's see. We have a caller on the line real quick, and I'm going to go to this caller. Hi, caller. Good morning. What's your name?
My name is Julie.
Julie Jerkoff.
Thank you, Julie.
Our first Julie Jerkoff.
You're our first to be given the Julie Jerkoff Award. In Ireland, a radio DJ died in the middle of his morning show, the station said. Yeah. Tim Goff was his name, 55 years old, was an hour into his broadcast when the music stopped halfway through a song. The music resumed a few minutes later, but the presenter did not return to his show. The broadcaster, Gen X Radio Suffolk, later confirmed that Tim sadly died. He was 55 years old, and the rest of the story was about people offering their condolences, so I don't know what happened.
It wasn't part of their cash cadaver promotion, was it?
I don't think it was. Don't think it was, Steve.
Now, one of us is going to die during the day. And we're going to die on air. When we do, call in.
Steve.
You've won cash cadaver.
Dude.
That's not funny. Although he probably would get a kick out of this.
No, that's just, it was his time, and it's horrific. Remember, I passed out.
Are you
on
saying
air.
he would have enjoyed that bit?
I don't know. Would any of us have enjoyed
The cash
it?
cadaver?
I think so.
Probably.
I mean, if I ever die on air while I'm here with you guys and you want to do a cash contest surrounding that,
Yeah.
Okay.
Will you be our cash cadaver?
Totally.
All right.
We're allowed? Okay.
Yeah.
I want you guys sobbing. I'm gone.
Steve, I love the voice. So Dracula comes
Be the
on.
11th call, and you'll be cash cadaver.
Oh, my God.
He didn't sound strong when he cracked the mic today. I just knew it was going to happen.
Oh, that's the actuarial.
Yeah.
That's the actuality from the
I was
winner.
waiting by my phone, and when he started coughing, I knew it was time.
This is horrible. This is terrible. That poor guy.
He just sounded weak.
That's what I knew to call.
I knew. I stayed right by the phone.
Dude. Oh, my God. To our own kind.
I know. We're horrible.
Our own kind.
Well, they shouldn't have
Wow.
set up the contest.
Yeah, you're right.
What is this stupid contest?
Be the 14th caller.
You're the 11th caller for cash cadaver.
Oh, man.
That poor, rest in peace.
Totally,
Oh,
man.
my God.
It's just beyond. It's beyond the pale.
I'm not going to be able to stop thinking about that.
All right, we got a text that it should have been called The Morning Show, M-O-U-R-N.
Ah, yeah.
No. We're very excited to welcome once again Mr. Chevy Chase. Chevy, thank you for coming on.
Chevy Chase. I've never heard a voice that low in my life.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate the compliment.
Yes, who is this, please?
That's Preston, who has the low voice, and I'm the bald guy, if you can see us. So I'm
That's-
Steve.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Are you the guy with the voice?
No, Preston.
Oh,
I think
all
I'm
right.
I'm the guy with the voice.
That was very good. I loved it.
Thank you. Hey, Chevy.
Hi, guys. Nice to see you.
It's
Nice to
wonderful
see
to
you.
have you on. I needed to ask, you 39 years ago, you guys made the film National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. And when you think back to that time when you were filming it, did you know that you had something extra special in that film and that people would still be loving it today? Because I've already watched it 3 times in the past couple of weeks.
No, I didn't like it. Bye. No, of course. Let me just say this. When I make movies, I hope that people will like it, but you don't know, really. In fact, I've been doing recently some appearances, such as the one I'll be doing in Atlantic City at Tropicana, where I'm with an actual audience of, I don't know, a few thousand people or whatever. And until that time, I've never seen my audience. Basically, you make a movie and you never know anything. Once I snuck into a theater with Dustin Hoffman when we did a movie. I just snuck in and stayed in the back to see if they'd laugh.
Right.
But I mean, really, it's the same thing with Dustin or anybody. It's just we don't know.
Well, you know what? It's become a holiday classic, and it deserves that. But I also think, in a way, it might National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation might get short shrift on the emotional level because it resonates on so many of those levels as well. I remember years ago when I was a kid, my dad was sweating out a Christmas bonus check. And so that that all of that, and I think it's captured beautifully in the movie in the attic scene where and I well up at that scene. That is a beautiful scene. How did that come together?
Oh, that's funny you should ask that. Well, it's not that funny, but we were in Breckenridge, Colorado on a ski slope shooting the very first scene in the movie where I'm going down the hill, and which you'll notice and see if you watch it. But it suddenly a blizzard hit us, and we were supposed to go back to LA and start shooting, and we ended up having to stay there. So the bed and breakfast that we were in had an attic, and we thought, well, let's try out their attic, which we did. That's where we shot it.
Wow!
In their attic, and I was happy to find a couple of boards I could stand on that would hit me in the back of the head and in the front of the head, and whatnot.
Yeah.
So that's how we did it, and then at the end of that scene, might be interesting for those who watch it. I look out a window outside and see my family either arriving or driving away or something. That was shot in L.A. because if I looked out that window in Breckenridge, I would just see other houses and naked people. No, I lied.
No, but Steve's right. And I watched this movie the first time I was a teenager, and now I'm a father and I have 3 kids, and so the movie kind of on a few different times hits differently now as a father. And, somebody who prepares to make sure that, Christmas morning is as magical for my kids as it was for me. So, yeah, that one scene in particular is it's great. But I always get surprised that when I can laugh at the same joke over and over again. And Chevy, the scene with you and the lady at the lingerie counter, it does not. Every single time I watch it, I'm like, I cannot believe that I'm like legit laughing out loud at the same joke over and over again. And when she says, "Can I take something out for you?" and you just start laughing, I laugh along with you. And
I know. I'm not going to say it on the air here, but
thank you.
No, I love that part. And then you can't see the line, can you, Russ?
Is it lost on you at all that, and I don't, you have to be aware of this, that people quote you all the time? Like, I can't go play around the golf without using one of your lines from Caddyshack.
Fletch, everything, yeah.
Christmas time, there's always, Fletch. I have 2 Fletch sound clips that I play. You can hear these. Hey! And this one, I use those clips all the time, and it's just these little subtle things. Is it lost on you that you're part of people's everyday vernacular?
No. Well, it's lost on me, and that nobody tells me this except
us,
a sad guy like you.
Now I'm happy.
Honestly, I suppose I make those movies just for that reason. I'm different than other people who are, quote, comedians, and I say what maybe my dad would have thought was funny, that kind of thing. So I'm amazed at people's reactions, and I love it because he made me laugh a lot. So there you are.
No, that makes sense. There's a wonderful, and I just in research for talking to you, I checked out, did some reading and watched a video. There was a video of you with your daughter and your wife watching. This is a couple of years ago. You're watching the movie, and it was phenomenal because it's your daughter and you.
93.3 WMMR.
All right, thank you very much, Kathy. So, MMRBQ was on Saturday.
Oh, man.
And I'm telling you, the day weather-wise was just absolutely spot on perfect.
So the best we've ever had, right?
Yeah.
Weather-wise for an RBQ, it was sensational.
What do you think about fall versus spring?
There's a case to be made, man. There maybe 1 or 2 people said that they were not able to attend because of school or going away or whatever.
And it was also Rosh Hashanah as well.
Yeah.
That's true. And you know what? We did get, we got a couple of emails from some Jewish listeners, and Bill Weston had responded and said, look, it's just the routing for the bands. We have to make sure that all the bands are actually available on specific dates, and that's why we had to move it to the fall.
That was the reason.
And so Bill had said to the letters that came in, look, we try to consider all holidays and events that are going on and try to make it convenient for as many people as possible, and that's just where it fell. It was either that or we couldn't do it.
Yeah, there was a point at which it was conceivably not going to happen at all.
Yeah.
And then everything was able to be, routed that way, as you said, Preston. So to the initial question, man, it was awesome. So if it's spring or autumn, I think you're going to have a better shot. We had a run of barbecues where it was just accepted that it was going to rain, and that it would rain later on, and there would be a downpour, and that was part of the deal. And then that became the thing. But I like this not raining. I like this really comfortable weather and the sunniness and all of that. It was sensational.
And the evening was comfortably cool.
Yeah.
And so it was a great time. Anybody who wants to share anything that you experienced, feel free to get in touch with us, 215-263-WMMR.
I had it was a great moment. I was walking over towards the side stage, and I was with Chuck D'Amico, and we're walking, and he looks behind us. He goes, "Yo, dude, that guy's wearing a No Sad Bro shirt." I'm like, "Oh, that's great," and he's like, "Why don't you go ask him if, have a picture taken?" And I'm like, "Dude, I am not going to do that. I'm not going to walk up to somebody and go, 'Hey, do you want to have your picture taken with me?'" Well, fast forward, I don't even know, 4 minutes later, I'm standing side stage, and the dude starts flagging me down to get his picture taken with me. I was like, "Oh, that's great."
That's more organic. You don't want to be a tool and go, I'm sure you want to take. Sometimes when people are coming up and they've had a, and by the way, everyone was just so wonderfully nice and to meet everybody and to press the flesh, as they say. But I do that as well. If someone's there and I see they're holding their phone, would you like to take a picture? Because a lot of times I've had people come back and say, "I wanted to take a picture, but I didn't want to bother you." So you let them know it's okay. And if they don't want to, that's fine.
Yeah. You were standing in line with a bunch of people, Steve, over by the side stage, and there was like a huge line of people that showed up to get pictures taken. But Don McCloskey was on stage, and I really wanted to see some of that, so I kind of faded out and went over and watched. Because
you came over and worked it.
I was very appreciative of the band being there. And by the way, our side stage, the Preston and Steve Show side stage, has become so much fun. This is only our second year doing it, and who would have thought that a bunch of amateur singers, people that just do this for fun, performing on stage would get such a response.
It was great.
People loved it.
It was great. So, and the thing is that we had it a little bit more surgical this year. So the first year there was a little bit of wiggle room, but the Vixen 77 stopped, and they do the swap out for the next band. At that time, we kicked in, and it was Preston. So we went from 0 to packed in front of the stage in just a couple of minutes. Because everyone came around, they heard the music start up, and that's the way it worked, back and forth. And it was great, but we were like right down to the minute almost on every one of these karaoke sessions.
Yeah, they're very specific with timing, and you can't have conflicting bands playing on one stage and the other one at the same time. But Sidearm was fantastic.
Oh my God!
Those guys are great.
They can just conveyor belt out a song, and not only were they performing the songs for the karaoke singers, they were also providing harmonies and doing all the backup stuff.
Yeah, so thank you to Richie and Ryan and Bobby from the band, because they bring it, and we'll have to do it again next year.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
It's going to be a perennial.
All of the artists were great. They had so much fun. They brought some fans with them, and people were just getting into it. So that was excellent.
I mean, at least 2 or 3 people come over and say that they got their bags of rye bread signed.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, signing rye bread. Nick had the rye bread cart, which was a huge hit.
I can't believe how successful that was.
I can't believe how much rye bread we had.
I think Marissa said she bought $300 worth of rye bread.
Yeah.
Well, Acme gave us a gift card.
Okay. So initially, I was chatting with Marissa, and she's like, "You're gonna toss them out one at a time or whatever?" And I was like, "Maybe." And then I realized I need to just hand them out one loaf at a time.
Yeah,
because one slice doesn't cut it.
Casey and I saw giddy young people running around with full loaves of rye bread. Casey was like, "It's like you gave them a guitar."
I know.
From the
they
stage.
were and they were using it as a signing item, which was, to me, was cracking me up. But everyone's, "What's with the rye bread?"
Yeah.
And the people who knew, and those who didn't, well, they found out.
Yeah, exactly. So we did the live band karaoke, which was a ball, and then Don McCloskey and his band, and they were hanging out for the duration. They were watching all the stuff. They got up and played, and were so much fun. And I think it was Nick, was it you or I'm not sure who said that Don said before they started, there were a bunch of people just kind of standing around going, all right, what are you going to do?
Yeah. Well, Don saw that.
Yeah.
And so he was out on stage and he was looking at the audience. And then the audience didn't quite know what to expect of Don. And then once he started playing and he got a song or two in, people started grooving and having a good time. And he's a fun band. He and his band are awesome.
Oh, man. It's feel-good music.
Yes.
It's absolutely feel-good music. So I go up to introduce the band. And they start like playing this little groove as I'm talking on the mic, and I go, all right, now Don McCloskey and his band. And I turn around, I walk away, and as I'm going off stage, the guy playing keyboards had lit up the fattest joint I've ever seen, and just was spliffing right on stage.
Well, it's legal.
It was hilarious. Oh yeah. It was hilarious. But he had this whole joint going the whole time they were playing.
So there's one point where I am at that side part of the area there, Preston, where taking pictures of people, and I look over and I see Don running up the hill. Sprinting up the hill, that side hill, with a whole bunch of people from the audience bolting up with him.
That thing is
and
steep.
I'm like, what is this all about? But it's just something he decided to do from the stage, and a whole bunch of audience members ran up and then ran back down. That's a steep hill.
Yeah. So we were busy with that for hours. So didn't get a chance to see Vixen 77 or Tiger Cub or Finger 11. Although my youngest went and checked out Tiger Cub and loved the band. So, did you know the lead singer is 7 feet tall?
Yeah, I could see his head from our side of the stage here. He is 7 feet tall.
He's 7 feet tall.
Yeah, I know. I was going to tell him because I saw him backstage after their set. He was smoking a cigarette, and I wanted to tell him, like, hey, dude, that could stunt your growth.
Oh, yeah. But apparently they were really cool with Caroline and her friend.
Oh, nice.
And they had a chance to meet him. And they, got some merch and stuff like that. And that was really cool. But,
all the bands seem to be having a good time. You're right, though, Preston. We're over on that side stage, which is going to be, it is a thing. It will be a thing from here on in because it was so much fun.
Yeah.
Everyone knows where we're going to be, which is cool. Rye bread on tap.
Come on. What more do you want?
Although there was one point where I guess the battleship had some sort of something planned. And they fired off about 10 rounds.
They just kept popping off these rounds, and not even from the big 30-inch guns, like the smaller ones, insanely loud. I mean, like every now and then, kabang! After a while, we're like, okay, you can stop now.
That's good.
Because we were right next to it.
Yeah.
But it was pretty interesting. We'll go to some phone calls. 215-263 WMMR. Going to go to Anna. Hi, Anna. Good morning.
Hi. Okay. I'm going to try this.
Oh, my goodness. Your poor voice.
Yes. So I was there on Saturday.
You sure were.
Steve, I got to meet you. I was wearing the S Creek shirt.
Oh, yeah. It was...
Yeah, I set my sister on fire last year.
Oh my God!
You were so excited, and you were even at that point you were just you had cool shades on, and you were just having a great time. You look like you were totally dialed into the barbecue.
It was my first one, so it's not my first time seeing Shinedown, who I was mainly there for.
So we won't make you talk too much.
Yeah, you should not be talking on the phone.
So.
But it was an amazing day.
Good.
The weather was awesome. I want to say Aaron Jones. I didn't expect a lot. They freaking were amazing.
Yeah.
Their bassist up there.
Yeah, Anna. So I'm talking to a guy backstage. He's a smaller guy with a cowboy hat on. I'm just having a conversation. I don't know who he is, and having a great conversation, talking about the Grateful Dead because he's a huge Deadhead. And then I go and check out Aaron Jones on stage. That dude was the bassist for Aaron Jones, and he was awesome, man. He had so much energy.
He's actually
watching him more than the actual show.
Yeah,
he's local, isn't he?
He's from the area, and he's Sarah Parker had brought him some pretzels from Wawa, and he was freaking out over that.
Did you know that was the first time their drummer had ever played with the band?
Ever. Like, not even rehearsed.
You wouldn't be able to tell. You wouldn't be able to tell. No, him, and then Billy Idol, of course. Yeah. Up there, man. That guy does not age.
No, does not. You're right.
All right, Anna, go rest that voice up, okay?
Thank you guys so much for this. I can't wait till next year. I'll be there.
She's adorable, man.
That is the best. Thank you.
She's adorable.
Casey, the guy in the No Sad Bro shirt, is on the line. It's
that
Paul.
guy.
Hey, Paul, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Crumb Bum.
Yeah, what's up, Crumb Bum? How you doing, bud?
You're a real crumb bum.
Lost a little bit of my voice, but not the whole thing. Yeah. I'm the guy who had the no Sadberg shirt on. I caught up with Brent. I saw him walking toward the side stage, and forgive me, guys. I'm running around like a madman this morning, trying to get ready for work.
No problem.
I saw Brent. I got to tell you, you guys are just amazing. I'm Tomato Pod Paul. So at the Cardboard Classic, I yelled out Tomato Pod and Nick, and on the slope, he looks at me like, "What the hell are you talking about?" Right?
I remember it.
I'm also Cabo Paul. I came in and visited with Pierre. I'm also Erupting Male Member Paul. I don't know if you guys know that story or not, but
no, but I'm sure we'll learn it at some point. So did you have a good time? Was it up to snuff for you?
Oh, it was fantastic. My first time at Cardboard, my first time at RBQ will definitely be back. I'm a loyal listener every day because I work from home.
Yeah, I know. You told me that on Saturday when you were like, I'm getting ready for work right now. You're at work.
Yeah, it was so kind of you, Casey, man. I flagged him down. I'm like, holy shit, there's Casey. I'm sorry.
All right.
Holy crap, there's
golly.
Holy crap, there's Casey, and he was so kind and cool to come up. We got some good photos. I'll email a couple in.
You notice, I noticed, Paul, that there were a ton of Preston and Steve shirts from various blood drives. I saw a lot of the Game of Thrones blood drive shirt that we had floating around. A lot of privilege shirts. It was terrific. It was super well represented.
Yeah, my No Sad Bro's been signed by Pierre, Brent, Casey, Pancake. So it's definitely a treasure of mine, and you guys are a treasure to listen to.
Oh,
thank you, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you, bud. We appreciate it. All right, we'll talk to you soon, Exploding Member Paul.
Later, Cabo Paul.
See you, buddy.
Later, work from home, Paul.
Okay. I want to go to this caller. I remember her. This is Kim. Hi, Kim. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
How you doing, Kim?
I'm good. I was your seat neighbor who basically freaked the heck out that I bumped into.
Yeah, so we were Rochelle and I went out to watch Billy Idol, so we had seats, and we're Billy's a few songs into his set, and we're having a great time and everything, and Kim next to me, who I didn't know at the time, kind of just bumped into me, and I kind of fell back a little bit and put my arm around her. I'm like, it's okay, no big deal. And then she did a double take because she didn't know I was sitting next to her, and we had a great moment.
Oh, that's cool.
Kim, how awesome was Billy Idol?
It was fantastic. I relived all of my high school years. I think at one point I told you at least some of those songs were definitely played at my prom.
Yeah.
It was just fantastic.
Well, here's the deal about that set. Number one, his voice was fantastic.
Yeah. You would know no difference.
Number two, I forgot about a few songs like Flesh for Fantasy.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that song.
Oh, absolutely.
And just started vibing on it and was really digging his set. I wasn't sure how that was going to come off, but he was spot on.
And you didn't get to see it, Kim, but backstage, he Pierre had interviewed him, and he was up and funny, and it was a blast.
Oh my God, he was so fun.
What was that?
I had on my MMRBQ shirt from 2014, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Every one of them.
Yeah. Kim, what was your favorite part of the day overall of the show?
Well, minus bumping into you, which is just beyond fantastic. I told you, it made my birthday. My birthday's on Wednesday. I'll be 50. It was fantastic.
Oh, that's excellent. And
we got there in time to see. Oh God, we just watched everybody. I don't even remember.
That's cool.
But, Shinedown, fantastic.
Ton of hardcore.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Excellent.
Ton of hardcore Shinedown fans.
Kim, I'm glad I had a chance to meet you. Happy that you guys made it to the MMRBQ. We'll see you there again. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, take care. So I had the band I was looking forward to seeing most was Larkin Poe.
Yeah,
I've become a fan of theirs. Which is interesting because at first I really didn't quite get the band. And then I went back and started listening to the album. I'm like, these guys are amazing. And so Jackie and I had a chance to sit down and talk to Megan and Rebecca. We did an interview with them, and they are super, super grateful of the support, and we're so excited to be on the bill.
Very authentic.
Yes. And so Jackie and I, he invited me to be a part of the interview, which was really cool of him because these gals love Jackie Bam Bam. They're huge fans of his. And so we sat down, and I just said, I'm just going to hang out and throw some questions in here. And there we were having a great discussion about all things Larkin Poe. And at some point, Jackie asked Rebecca how many tattoos she had, and is she going to get more? And at some point in the interview, Jackie goes, well, he goes, Rebecca's sitting here, you know, she's shirtless, and so we can see all the tattoos. And immediately both Rebecca and I are like, no. She's like, I am wearing a shirt. I'm like, Jackie, she's sleeveless, not shirtless.
Everyone just bust out laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's here. She's completely topless.
But after the interview, which was great, I went out and watched their set and watched every bit of it. They were wonderful. They really dive into rootsy blues stuff. And we really had the crowd was loving it.
I never saw the stage at all except from backstage.
Okay.
Like I never made it over there. I was going over to the one area where the advertisers were and saying hi and just walking the area all around. It was so the response to everything and the music. Everyone was having such a good time that I was able to consume the entire time I was there with just that.
Did you guys get to see, I forget where everybody was at certain times, but backstage for the interview that Brent and Pierre did with Brent and Zach of Shinedown?
Yeah, it was great.
Awesome. It was such a cool conversation, and
super positive guys.
Those guys are just like the nicest guys on the planet, and there were a couple of moments where like we were able to take pictures with them, and I've been a fan of them as a band for a long time, but I am even bigger fan of them as people. They're just great, decent people, and so they go and they say hi and they take pictures and whatever, and Casey and I just kind of standing off to a side at a certain point, and then Zach and Brent come back over to me and Casey to thank us again.
Yeah.
And it was so genuine. They're just nice guys. And it was so touching. They didn't have to do any of it for them to go out of their way to say hello and then say goodbye again before they go back to, get ready for their performance. It just was really impressive.
We walked onto the stage area, which we do have that privilege. It's our show. And I come walking into the door that opens up to the main stage area, and there's Mark from Dirty Honey. And he turns to me, he's like, hey, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, what's up, dude? We're back again. I was talking to him, and I had Caroline and Friend back there, and the band is on stage playing. I didn't know exactly what was going on. I go, hey, can I get a picture with these guys with you real quick? He's like, sure. I stand there, and he puts his arms around him, and I take the picture. All right, thanks, man. And then he just walks out onto the stage and starts singing immediately.
Yeah.
Like while he was working,
gotta go.
he took the picture.
I got to go to work, guys. Yeah.
Super cool band, and boy, do they have some energy, man.
I love seeing the way that they all get along with each other, too. And we've had a number of the artists talk about the joy of a sort of a festival show like this where they can see people they haven't seen in a long time. And that energy was pervasive backstage. It was great.
Yeah, most definitely.
I did snap a photo of you and Mark backstage. I'm sending it to you right now.
Oh, cool.
There, Preston.
Excellent. Thank you. Super nice guy. Let me see. Other highlights from the day. There was so much
such
going
a
on.
long,
I can tell you one.
Fun day. Yeah.
The carrot cake backstage.
Oh, dude, okay. I was going to ask you about that.
Effing good.
See, I went for the ice cream instead.
Oh, it was maybe the best carrot cake I've ever had in my life.
What's happening?
That brings up an interesting point to me because people ask, how do we get backstage? And I think maybe at one point in time, getting backstage really was cool and an amazing thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's neat to see
if
the
you like
interviews.
carrot cake, yes.
Well, what I was going to say was like the interview stuff is really cool to see the bands interact, especially with Pierre and Jackie and Brent. Like I love that kind of stuff. Beyond that, it's not like debaucherous Def Leppard days where they're getting blowies underneath the stage. None of that is happening. It's just a hang. It's people going in and out of the dressing rooms.
Well, it's people working.
It's people working.
Yeah.
And to be honest, like there used to be like I think the Borgata sponsored like a VIP tent.
Yeah, there used to be a party.
All
back
that sort of party. That's no more.
You see, we want to see Rodney running wires. Go backstage.
Mariz?
I have two fun moments. One, I spotted a bunch of boxes of Angelo's pizza. I don't think you guys have had Angelo's yet.
Oh, I did.
But Shinedown pinged like Philadelphia to see who had the best pizza in Philadelphia, and they ordered it from Angelo's, and then they sent it out into catering, all the extra pizzas. So all the other bands had like little notes that were like, enjoy the show, Shinedown. They were sending them to each band. So it's pretty cool. But I did not spend a lot of time backstage for the first time, maybe ever, because my brother and sister-in-law brought my nephew for his first concert.
Wow.
4 years old,
Oh my
and
God.
he was having the time of his life. Of course, I was like filming all the moments, and then at one point he just like knocks my camera. He's like, "Watch." He's like, "There's a thing going on up there," and I was
There
like,
you go.
"Thanks, James.
Wow.
I needed that, bud."
Wow.
I'll tell you what was kind of wild is that we were standing in line over by the side stage, and I don't know if you were there, Case, but this adult woman comes up, and she's like, "Oh, you know, I used to listen with my, I listened with my dad in the car when I was a kid," and she goes, "I was born on the day you guys started at MMR. She was born on the day we started here, an adult human female."
Oh my God! So she's 18 and
Yeah,
change now. Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what? Standing on the side stage, there's a huge hill that's right next to the side stage. I wish they would kind of like maybe turn the stage a little bit to face that hill. But what I had a great time watching the kids roll down that hill, and I was like, because it just
you
brought
could
me.
pick up some serious
Oh, yeah.
momentum.
Dude, but it brought me back to a time where, you know, when I was a kid and like grass stains, like none of that stuff mattered. You know what I mean? Like grass stains meant you had a great day.
Let's spin around in a circle till we puke.
Yeah.
I met a crew of girls at the side stage as well, too, right after Don McCluskey. They came up there like, "We listen every day. We actually, I don't know how the best to say this, but like we're adults now. Like we're going to jobs. We're in grad school." And they're like, the first day we got in the car, we were like, "Oh, we listened to Preston and Steve, right? Like we grew up doing it with our parents, and now we're on our own and doing it." And
That's
I was
awesome.
like, "God damn it, it's it's familia. It's just keeps going." So that was really, really cool.
Yeah. And I want to thank your husband, Matt, for holding all of our stuff while we went on to do the final stage announcement. Like, we're getting ready to go out on stage, and I've got, like, my sunglasses and passes and all this stuff. Like, I don't want to go out there. Where can I put this stuff? Matt's standing there, like, "Can you hang on to this stuff for me? I don't want to make you do this." But we ended up going out. The morning show, we were going to make an announcement for Billy Idol coming on. But they had this film that they were going to play ahead of time, and production didn't get it ready. The production wasn't in place, and they're very strict about the time, so they had to waive off our stage announcement.
It's precisely 10 minutes.
So we went out and watched Billy Idol set, and then I came back, and Chuck had told us, "Well, listen, Shinedown's going on a little bit if you want to jump up there with Pierre." So some of us did do that, me and Nick and Marissa.
Oh, you did do that?
Yeah, me and Nick, Marissa, Brent Porsche, Pierre, Ryan Shuttleworth, and I think that was
Pancake was out there.
And Pancake all went out.
Real quick, by the way, do you guys know Ryan's family's restaurant had a fire?
No.
Yeah, so we can talk about it another time, but they're working on getting it back up and running. And when it relaunches, I told him we'd give him.
I met his mother.
Yeah, they're such a nice family and a really nice restaurant in Narberth. So when it's open again, we'll let everybody know.
Yeah, Ryan Christopher's there in Narberth.
Yeah.
I have to thank the usher on our row. So when we brought our nephew, like I was so excited. Like it was like my first concert again. When I'm walking him around, he's like running and sprinting, and I was like, "It's his first concert." And she let us know that if you go to guest services, they give you like a little foam finger that says it's his first concert.
that's so cute.
So he was like rocking with that.
That's great.
Yeah.
Speaking of security, we ran into
Oh, my
somebody.
God.
If you've been a longtime listener of the Preston and Steve show, go way, way back to our origins at Y100. Stormy Beaver was there. Stormy was in one of our Survivor contests that we did, and she works security there. But she's getting ready to move. She's moving out. She's moving to Nashville.
Moving to Nashville
in a year or so.
She's going to do great, but it's great to see her,
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, what a blast.
That was great. So running into old friends and stuff at that event is always a blast. But every bit of it was, I had so much fun. And I'm so glad we do that side stage now.
One bit of thanks to Connor here. He like was helping plan the whole side stage thing, made the rye bread cart happen and all. So
Right.
Connor, you're amazing. Besides the whole day, what time did you get there?
8:30.
8:30. And what time
Whoa.
did you leave?
Like 12:30.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
There you go.
4 hours.
It's a
And
full
that's
ass day.
The entire MMR Army, the entire MMR staff are engineering and everything like that. I know you guys are going to give all the thanks.
No, he
but-
got there at 8:30 a.m.
Yeah. And then he left at 12:30 p.m. That's only like 4 hours.
So, by the way, videos are coming. Neumann Media did that, of course.
Yeah.
We had photos from Philly Photo and Film as well. So, we'll have lots of images for you. Let me go to a couple of calls real quick. I guess, do we keep going up until Crumb Bum Cash, or can we take a break?
No, we got to take a break.
Oh, then I'll go to Sadie real quick. Hey, Sadie, good morning.
Good morning, Preston. How are
you.
Good morning to see you, Sadie. I'm awesome. What did you want to tell us?
I just wanted to say I was one of the finalists that did not make it on stage last year and this year. And I got to meet you, and I said that to you, and I got to meet Marissa, and I hugged her.
Oh.
And I said, I just thank you, all you guys at MMR, for putting on the MMRBQ year after year. Thank you so much for having the Preston and Steve side stage and giving us the opportunity to feel like rock stars for 5 minutes. And please continue to do it. It's always an amazing time. I'm sorry, not amazing. It's a fantabulous time. And my husband and I also love carrot cake very much.
Ah, there you go. Absolutely, man.
Here backstage, I just want a slice of carrot cake, maybe to say hi. This year it would have been Billy Idol. Like, my best friend and I were there. The first time she ever had seats for an MMRBQ. She's always at the lawn. And we just wanted Billy Idol so bad, and it was like he was still in his 20s. Like,
Yes, it was awesome.
Absolutely, yeah,
I agree.
yeah, agree.
All right, Sadie, we got to break, unfortunately, but thank you so much. It was great running into you, and we'll definitely see you next year. All right, see you later.
Everybody has a little bit of a roughness to their voice.
Absolutely. All right, well, huge success. Thank you. Thank you to all those who came to the MMRBQ, and if you didn't, then we'll get you one next year that you'll be out to, and I guarantee you, you'll have a blast. So, all right, let's take a break, because we have $1,000 to give away when we return with MMR's Crumb Bum Cash. Hang in there.
Lingerie scene, and and she's like, "Oh, Dad," you could just see it on her face, and you give her this loving look, and it was just beautiful.
Yeah. Well, I also have 3 children, and they're my daughters. Of course, they're now in their 30s, but yeah, we're a very close family. This is where I live. This is what I do. I live with my wife and 3 daughters, and God, do I love them all. They're just the best, and I wouldn't be alive if it weren't for them. Not to say that I was dying or something, but just, I just, that's it. I mean, I was looking at my wife this morning. I was in bed on top of her. No, I was in bed. No, I just look over, I peek over to her side of the bed, and she's out like or something, and I just love her.
Yeah, no, I absolutely understand that. What I also love, Chevy, is you love the actual describing the movie, and people are going to go see you. You're going to get your money's worth because you have tons of stories. And I did not know that the house featured in the Christmas Vacation was actually the same house used in the Lethal Weapon movies.
Well, that's right. Once we went to L.A. after getting out of that place, we had a place called the Warner Ranch. It was right across from Warner Brothers Studios. And there must have been 12 or so houses that they would use over the years. And we picked one that had a great lawn. And on the lawn, by the way, there was a toilet, just a toilet. You mentioned Lethal Weapon. That I believe there was a toilet scene at the very end where Danny
Glover.
Danny Thomas. What?
Danny Thomas, Danny Glover. Danny Glover's on the toilet. Yeah.
Like the toilet explodes or something.
Yeah.
So I said, that's got to be the house for us. And the property people had clearly forgotten to remove the toilet, or just said that, heck with it, and they got another house. And so I had our property people please remove the toilet from the lawn. And then there's this scene, it's like one of the first scenes in the movie in which I fall off the roof, setting the lights up.
Right.
And I land behind this bush, and I landed on the toilet. Nobody saw that, but that's where the property people this time put it.
Oh, my God.
That's hilarious. Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, we are going to have, there's one of the stars of Christmas Vacation actually still lives in this area, and we're going to have her in studio on Monday. The young girl who played Ruby Sue, Ellen Latson's going to be here on Monday.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Yeah, so
what a little kitty.
Yeah, well, she's a grown-up now. Do you have any memories of shooting any scenes with her? Because you guys did have that really touching scene.
Beautiful.
When you were
Santa Claus.
Yeah, Santa Claus, yeah.
Yeah. We went out together after that.
That's cool.
I'm kidding.
That would have been illegal at the time.
I know, it would have been. I'll say. No, she was a lovely girl. I can't remember exactly what Ruby Sue ended up doing because I never really, I sort of lost track of her. But her name is Ellen.
Yeah.
And I hope for the best for her. She was terrific fun. Yeah.
Talking about speaking of the cast, when the entire family is at the Griswolds, look at the lineup of people that were in that living room: John Randolph, Diane Ladd, E.G. Marshall, Doris Roberts, Randy Quaid, of course, William Hickley, the great Mae Questel. What a group of actors! That just must have been.
Don't forget Beverly D'Angelo.
Beverly D'Angelo, of course. Yeah.
In trouble.
And
no, you're right. Mae Questel and John Randolph was my dad. Mae Questel. Yeah, a great group of really good actors. William Hickley was a teacher, and some of the greatest actors went to his school.
I think at that point he just won the Oscar for, was it Prizzi's Honor?
No, I didn't win it for that one, but I won it for the.
No, he did.
Oh, that's correct. I'm so sorry. Yes, he did.
Yeah. Well, having that cast at that level of capability, for in supporting roles, just made everything that much better. Now, the legend has it that you also incurred an injury during the tirade sequence with the front lawn decorations that were not working with you. Is that true?
Well, that's right. It was a rant when I was ranting about how I couldn't get the, things together and all that. And I just, from out of nowhere, decided to kick these reindeer that were on the lawn, punch them.
Right.
Because I was angry at everything. And that wasn't supposed to be in the movie. I just did it and the camera followed me. No. And I came back with a broken finger after doing it. I thought it was like made of mud or something. I didn't know what it was made of, but it certainly didn't absorb anything except my bones.
Speaking of rants, when you finally, when the dam breaks and you realize, Clark is not going to get the bonus, and you go on that, bug-eyed, fish-eyed, blah, blah, that whole thing. Yeah. Was that, had you written all that out yourself and rehearsed all of that, or was some of that just coming off the cuff while you were going through that?
No, we wrote it. Actually, I wrote it, come to think of it. And each one of those adults watching me do it, had a little card on the front of their.
That is great.
You can't see. You can look for it, but you can't see it, and so that's why I put all those words, because I couldn't remember them all. It was just too many.
And that's
a great thing to know.
That's what I was wondering, because it is a lengthy string of pseudo profanities.
That's wild.
That were just all over the place. They were bizarre.
That's Brando that was the thing Brando did during The Godfather. He had the actors he was facing. They had cue cards on them. Because that's a string of things to remember, but it's one of the seminal scenes. And correct me if I'm wrong, Beverly D'Angelo has an improv physically when the SWAT agents come through the windows, correct?
Oh, did you say erect?
Yeah, it pertains to that.
Oh, you said correct, yeah. No, you're right. That just sort of happened. I did not feel a thing, just for those who might watch the movie. But which made me cry inside.
Oh.
And, I did not feel a thing, but that's just Bev. She just happened to do that, and so you'll see it in the movie.
That's beautiful.
You guys have such a chemistry, and we talked to her just recently, and that's. And there's obviously a real friendship there, and in that moment when you first met her and you were doing the first movie. Did you try with anyone else? Was it just were you kind of just paired with Beverly D'Angelo right from the get-go and realized you had that chemistry?
Not paired. I paired.
You paired.
I interviewed quite a few girls for that role.
I see.
And Bev just seemed right away. So I chose that girl.
And I saw that you and her and Christy Brinkley were was it Comic-Con recently, or it was at convention?
Oh, a few days ago, yeah.
Does that does that happen from time to time? Some of the national the vacation family kind of run into each other here and there.
Not really. That just happened to be. I know. Why did that happen to be? It did anyway.
Yeah.
Christy and Bev are quite a couple. I won't even get into it. It's too funny.
That's awesome.
I say Randy Quaid is, of course, amazing in it. And Randy's taken some turns since since the movie, but that he comedically, for a guy who's also a tremendous actor, a dramatic actor, he just ate that role up. Was some of your dialogue improv with him as well?
I backed off a little bit and turned your volume off. Are you there?
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, we lost you for just a second.
You were saying Randy.
Randy
I
Quaid.
was about to say that Randy. If it weren't for Randy, I wouldn't make those movies. You know, as you said, he's a brilliant actor. Period. And he just came on and you serious, Clark? You know that guy.
Yeah.
And I do a good impression of Randy. And I just think he's such a solid guy. I spoke to him on the phone relatively recently, and he was home with his wife and child, who unfortunately is a puppy, a dog. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, but no, Randy and his, he's just a regular guy. I mean, I can't tell you, when we're walking through that grocery store and he keeps piling the dog food on the thing, I'm not going to give it all away, but that's the guy I wanted.
Yeah.
And he did that, by the way, out of nowhere. He just started piling those things on.
It's hilarious.
I picked up some light bulbs and put that there to see what would happen.
Chevy, do you have a favorite of any of the vacation movies? I mean, each one of them means something different to each one of us. Is there one that stands out to you?
Well, I like the Godfather version.
The Godfather's an American masterpiece.
I know. So is one of mine, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep fighting for it. No, I don't think. I think the first vacation and Christmas vacation are probably my favorites. But then I think about European vacation. That was very funny.
Yeah.
I had Eric Idle in that, and then Vegas vacation wasn't my favorite. It was rough to do, but otherwise, I mean, I enjoyed it very much, obviously. But I think the first one and the last one.
Well, there are tons of stories associated with the movies, and I'll just bring up one that you got a lot of tidbits that you've given us today.
It's time for a Crumb Bum Cash keyword.
All right, I blew it. I turned down the wrong piece of music, but here we go. This is what we are going to give you, a word. This hour's keyword for Crumb Bum Cash is success.
Success.
And that is spelled SUCCESS. Two C's and two S's.
That's the way we spell success.
SUCCESS. Is that
Yep.
Okay. You have until 15 minutes after the hour to enter it. 3 ways to do it. You can enter it at WMMR.com or do it through the MMR app or via a text to the special contest short code number, which is 45911. And one random entry will win $1,000 in our company-wide contest. Each winner gets a call from Beasley. Make sure you answer your phone. Contest rules available at WMMR.com. It is sponsored by Horizon Services. And the word again is success. SUCCESS. Enter that right now. Let's take a look at traffic. Kathy, what is going on this morning?
In Upper Chichester, 491 closed between Meeting House and Worth Avenue. That's closed because of a downed tree. 30 bypass eastbound. Jams 340 to 113. 422 eastbound backing up Oaks to First Avenue. 611 at West Avenue in Jenkintown, an accident. York Road in Horsham. That's in Hatboro. There's an accident there. Also in Lower Moreland Township. Huntington Pike at Philmont Avenue, an accident. Blue Route northbound slows Baltimore Pike to the Media bypass southbound. The Mid-County tolls to the Schuylkill. And then from Broomall over to Media. Schuylkill eastbound backs up 202 into Belmont. The Boulevard to the Vine. Westbound Bear Avenue to South Street. City to Belmont. The Blue Route out to 202. 95 southbound jams Woodhaven to Cotman. And then Allegheny to the Vine Expressway. Ridley Park to Highland Avenue. On the northbound side of 95, you're slowing from the Betsy Ross Bridge to Academy. 55 northbound jams Deptford to 42. 42 north slows from 295 to 676. Also at Blackwood Clementon Road, we've got some jam traffic there as well. This traffic report brought to you by DaVita. DaVita invests in career growth for nurses. Be a part of a team where you are a top priority. New pay rates at DaVita.job/Philly. That's DaVita.job/Philly. It's your time to join Team DaVita. And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you this morning by Pro Team Collision, your certified collision repair center. If you get into an accident, Pro Team Collision is there for all of your auto body repair needs. All right, so a Kentucky coroner allegedly left a dead man in a hot car overnight, causing the body to decompose so badly that the man's family was forced to hold a closed casket funeral, and people still got sick from the smell.
Dead man in a hot car.
Basil Payton is suing former Morgan County coroner Raymond Van Cleve, accusing him of leaving the body of Payton's...
We made a mistake.
Payton's brother Nathan Payton in a body bag overnight in a vehicle on an unseasonably warm day.
Oh, my God.
Instead of taking the corpse to the state medical examiner's office or putting it in cold storage, Van Cleve kept possession of the body in a sealed black body bag inside a vehicle that was parked and remained during the afternoon and overnight at the home of then coroner Van Cleve.
Can you imagine?
He was taking his work home with him.
Yeah.
The lawsuit says...
Don't go in the car. I got a dead body in there.
Van Cleve didn't have permission to store bodies because he had previously failed to collect them on time. As the body of Nathan Payton sat inside the car, the corpse rapidly decomposed while sealed within the body bag. Van Cleve allegedly took the body the next day to the medical examiner's office for an autopsy that was not requested by the family, by the way. When a funeral home came to get the body, the following day, things appeared to have gone from bad to much, much worse. The body was decomposed so badly to mishandling that the smell emanating from the body bag was pungent and putrid, it said in the case.
This is staggeringly horrible.
Payton's body couldn't be embalmed due to almost complete decomposition. The funeral service had to be conducted with a closed casket due to the unbearable smell that emanated from the casket. And even then, people who attended the funeral 6 days later were sickened by the smell. And it said that multiple pallbearers, visitors, and funeral home staff vomited and became ill because of the foul and pungent odor. Lawsuit accuses Van Cleve and other county officials of reckless, negligent, and careless behavior and is seeking an unspecified amount of damages.
My guess is they're going to win.
I think so. Well, a mama black bear and her cub had their fill of sweets on Tuesday morning when they climbed into a van delivering Krispy Kreme donuts and devoured several boxes of the freshly baked treats.
Home run, right, kids?
Man, the van was parked when it happened as a delivery driver was making a regular stop at an express store. This is in Alaska, by the way.
Of course, yeah.
So he briefly left the van door open to deliver donuts to the store, and that's when the mother bear and her cub snuck inside.
What could go wrong?
According to the Steen manager, Shelly Dino, she said, you could hear them breaking open the packages. We were trying to beat on the van, but they just kept eating all the donuts.
Is there any coffee back here?
They ate 20 packages of the donuts and I believe 6 packages of the 3-pack chocolate donuts.
If you gonna be a bear, be a grizzly.
And by the way, they use donuts to bait bears when they need to catch them for whatever reason.
Your average bear loves donuts.
Dino,
if you're going to bait me, glazed donuts would probably work.
Dino called security, which eventually got the bears to leave the van by blasting loud sirens. She said that they ambled off into the nearby woods. All right, this is a pretty fresh story. An expensive F-35 jet has been lost somewhere in South Carolina following a training mishap.
I don't know where I left it.
A Marine Corps pilot was flying one of the country's most expensive fighters near Joint Base Charleston on Sunday afternoon when an unknown problem occurred, forcing the pilot to abandon the aircraft and eject. The F-35 Lightning II Joint Strike Force fighter program is the Department of Defense's most expensive weapon system program. Officials estimate it'll cost American taxpayers about $1.7 trillion to buy, operate, and sustain it over its lifetime. The single Marine Corps F-35 cost $135.8 million.
Oh, my God.
So the pilot, after ejecting, was found in a residential neighborhood in stable condition. His wingman safely landed in a separate aircraft, but officials are working with the Marine Corps to find this aircraft. They don't know where it is.
Shouldn't there be locating devices aboard these kind of things that would make it like a little bit easier? Put an Apple AirTag in it.
Yeah, or like maybe had they tried using the panic button on the keychain?
To see if you can hear it?
Yeah.
Found it. But nonetheless, they're looking for this thing. I've never heard of that before.
That's a little disturbing.
All right, listen to this story. The band director of a high school was tased and arrested by Birmingham police when authorities say he would not order his band to stop playing.
Wow.
It happened on Thursday night following a football game. The director who was arrested is Johnny Mims. The superintendent, Walter Gonslin, said, "We are aware of this incident that occurred after the Minor and Jackson Olin football game. I'm in the process of gathering all the facts and feel that it would be inappropriate to comment further until process is complete." So after the football game ended, officers were in the process of clearing out the stadium and observed both bands from each school were still playing. The officer spoke with both schools' band directors to end the performance so that students and attendees would leave the stadium. Officers were able to get Jackson Olin's band to stop performing. Officers approached Mims and began asking him to get his band to stop performing. Mims did not comply with multiple officers' requests to stop his band from performing. He instructed his band to continue performing. A sergeant was among the officers who attempted to get the director to stop.
Don't chase me, bro.
During the officer's interaction with Mims, the decision was made to place him in custody. Officers attempted to take Mims into custody for disorderly conduct when a physical altercation ensued between the band director and officers.
He was committed.
Officers attempted to get Mims to place his hands behind his back. He refused. The arresting officer alleges that Mims pushed him during the arrest, so he subdued Mims with a taser, which ended the physical confrontation. Officers then took him to the hospital, which is standard protocol. After he was discharged there, they took him to the Birmingham City Jail where he was booked.
That's insane.
I want to see the follow-up on that, friends. All right, and you know what? I think I'll do... Yeah, let me do this. Well, I don't know if we have enough time. I have another story.
Go for it.
All right. 3 friends took it upon themselves to manage a Nashville hotel for a few hours. So after a late night of partying, the trio were unable to check into their room at the La Quinta Inn Suites because there were no employees in sight. So after checking to make sure no one had fallen asleep behind the desk or in one of the back offices, the friends began to answer phones, greet customers, and even set up the breakfast buffet.
Wow.
Great.
They did manage to find one employee, a maid, who didn't know what was going on but said she had not seen anyone in a couple of hours. They also reached out to the general manager, who was on a business trip in California and wasn't aware that there were no employees on the floor.
We can run the hotel.
A guy named Kenzie, one of the friends, said, "So instantly we're like manager mode. We run businesses back home. Manager mode kicks in. All right, let's see what we can do." The friends fielded several complaints from customers about unauthorized payments, as well as a lack of hotel personnel available. Police later showed up to the hotel, but gave them permission to, quote, "do whatever you have to do."
What?
And as the cop began to leave, he said, "You guys are doing a good job."
Oh, my God.
You guys are A-OK.
One was taking calls, one was helping guests get checked in and checked out, one was helping serve breakfast. They managed to hold down the fort until a La Quinta Inn employee showed up. By then, the trio had managed to get everyone settled. The friends then asked if they could check into their room, but the employee told them that they would be charged a $25 resort fee. A short time later, a GM from another Wyndham Hotels resort made an appearance. They caught up with the drama and ensued and were met with utter disbelief and gratitude for holding the hotel down. The manager said, "We'll get them checked in, and we are not charging you anything."
So how did they end up staffless?
I don't know. I haven't found out about that yet. So maybe there'll be a follow-up
Yeah.
on that one too. But they ran the hotel because no one else was there to do it.
We can do it.
I love it. And that is what I have in the bizarre file. And you have about 2 minutes left to enter the word success. It is Crumb Bum Cash. And here's what you need to do. You need to either text or enter through our app or go to WMMR.com. The word success, that's your keyword, SUCCESS. You have until 15 minutes after the hour to enter it. By the way, the text number is 45911. So do that now. It's sponsored by Horizon Services. This is the first one. We're going to do 4 more today.
That's right.
If you don't win this time, don't worry about it. You got more shots throughout the course of the day and all the information available on WMMR.com. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back in just a moment. So stay with us, and good luck to you.
Legend goes, Chris Columbus was offered the directing role for National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation first, and then passed on it, and he went on to direct Home Alone from that. Is that correct?
No, actually, he discovered the country in 1492.
Oh, it was that one. Wow.
Anyway, I have no idea if that's really true. I don't know Chris Columbus.
Okay.
I always wanted Harold Ramis, and Is that who I got?
No, you got Jeremiah Chekchik.
Oh, I got Jeremiah. Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
So there you have it. My knowledge of that is really shaky.
What you've given us is worth it, though. The conversation has been great, and this is some of what you'll get if you attend the screening and the conversation afterwards.
Yeah, this is going to be
thank you.
Saturday night at Tropicana Casino and Resort in AC. Tickets available at Ticketmaster. I'm actually going to give away some here in just a little bit.
8 o'clock. It'll be great fun. I hope the place fills up and is packed with young girls.
As a fan,
wonderful people.
As a fan, we are thrilled you're doing this with your movie catalog because we are massive fans.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, that's very nice. Thank you. I thank you for that.
Thank you so much, Chevy. Have a great holiday. Enjoy the weekend and take care of yourself. Okay.
Well, you too, guys.
All right, thank you. Chevy Chase, guys. I mean, come on, man. The great Joe Satriani, guitarist.
The only rock in St. Louis, KGN 89.1. Up on deck right now, we've got some hot new stuff from a guy named Joe Satriani. This cat really knows how to play guitar. Watch out for him. He's getting some really fantastic...
Dude, stop it.
If I have to listen to, he's calling my phone.
Okay, all right.
Then you got to listen to that.
Commercial success from his all-instrumental album, which you don't...
This is me in broadcasting school.
Right.
Mind you.
Seen much of, and I see some very big things from him in the future. So what do you say we roll it? This is The Crush of Love on KGN.
At least, listen, I still have never showed you guys mine. At least you're like, you're doing it. Like, I froze. I didn't, like, the words weren't even coming out of my mouth.
There's no words on it?
Oh, yeah. It was, Steve, there were very little words on it.
I didn't know that.
Do you have it, or is it just mythical
No,
now?
I have it. I think I lied to you guys and said I didn't.
I think you did.
I knew it.
We know you did. Preston, but that's a very serviceable... It's not that bad.
It was terrible.
No, that's what I mean. Like listen, it's terrible now, but like you were speaking well, and you.
I can't read it. There's no words on it.
I was talking like this, you know.
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like you're in broadcast school.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, here's another one if you want to hear Foreigner.
This is KGN 89.1, the only rock of St. Louis. Good afternoon. I am feeling good, and I hope you are too. And if not, I've got just the thing for you. Here's a little bit of Foreigner, Double Vision on KGN.
I like that. I hope you're feeling good. If not, there's not a goddamn thing I can do about it.
That's me, by the way, just sitting in a booth with a tape recorder.
Yeah.
I wasn't actually on the radio.
It's
I was
the weirdest.
pretending. I had to make up a radio station. KGN did not exist. I made that up. No. I don't know why I thought of those letters. KGN. K-Gun.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. Kevin Gunn.
Yeah.
Anyway, Joe Satriani, that cat turned 66 years old today. We are so happy he is back in town. It's been a while since he's been here in this studio, and we know him as Gay Robot. We love him for that. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Swartz.
Yeah, everybody
is with us. Good morning, sir.
I'm glad you got my name right and didn't call me Blink 182. You nailed it.
It's that kind of day, Nick.
It is.
Flooding in the streets and in Preston's.
Dear Lord.
When did your friendship with Adam Sandler begin?
We met on J-Date.
It was J-Date.
Yeah.
So a mistake ended in a lifelong
it was just
friendship.
A lovely turn of events.
That's perfect.
Actually, this goes with answering this question. A lot of people don't even know I do stand-up. So this generation now, it's funny because
that's why I wanted to.
They'll come to my show and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're really good at stand-up."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, I've been doing like 22 years, which is insane." And a lot of people just know me from movies, so it's kind of a bonus when they're like, "Oh my gosh."
Yeah.
You know, it's like Michael Jordan when they're like, go to see him play baseball, and they're like, "Oh, you play basketball? Oh my gosh,
this is a whole other
crazy."
aspect.
Wait, you're the Michael Jordan of comedy?
No.
Right. Michael Jordan of baseball.
Yeah.
Yes. Was
exactly.
Was Chuck and Larry the first movie you did with Adam, or did you do anything before that?
Adam saw my stand-up on Comedy Central.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was in bed with his wife, and he was channel surfing, and he was like, "Oh, it's this kid." And I was a kid at the time, and he wrote my name down and went to the office, and he was like, "Who is this dude?" And a lot of the younger guys were like, "Oh, that's this kid Nick Swartz," and that was my first special. And I used to do jokes about my grandmother.
Oh, I loved them.
And so he had a script called Grandma's Boy. And he like called my manager, and I had a meeting with him, which was surreal, obviously. And the whole time I just wanted to be like, yeah, you. So I didn't do that, and that's why I'm still working with him. But
there's a scene in that movie. Michelle Carmen, who's one of our calendars, is the girl who is across the street.
Moon balloons.
Oh yeah.
She's from Philly. And she's in one of our calendars. Yes.
I remember Sandler called me up and he goes, "Hey man, I'm doing this movie Chuck and Larry with Kevin James," and I was like, "All right, cool." And he goes, "Yeah, it's a part for you," and I go, "Okay, great." And he goes, "Yeah, you're playing Jessica Biel's brother." I'm like, "That's amazing." And he goes, "Yeah, you're a gay brother." And I was like, "I've been doing a lot of gay stuff." I was on Reno 911 at the time. So I was like 4 or 5 years deep in Reno 911. And he was like, "No, dude, it's not like your character Terry on Reno 911. It's different. It's not that gay." And I show up to wardrobe. I show up to wardrobe, and they put me in like a butterfly outfit with like tiny shorts. Yes. And I was like, "Yeah, this is way different. Way different."
And then you end up playing in another movie I think is underrated, is Blades of Glory.
Oh yeah.
And you play the stalker.
Yeah.
Who comes up with the conceit that gets.
I saved the movie.
Saved the movie, yeah. But that was another gay character.
It was gay-ish. It wasn't like bursting into flames. It was just like half my leg was on fire.
I wanted to ask about your fascination with bats, because we had seen an interview that you love bats. You want to have pet bats or something like that.
What interview is that?
I don't know. It says here he loves bats. Wanted to buy a bat farm in a recent interview.
Did you want to buy?
Insanity.
That's not
That
you.
is completely false. Bats are horrifying. I want nothing to do with bats.
So who
You never said that in an interview?
Who grabbed the
I
piece of
probably did,
information?
but I do a lot of mushrooms.
Who grabbed the piece of information about the bat farm?
I don't know what could possibly have happened there.
In your data sheet.
Bats are literally horrifying. I remember when I was growing up, I lived in an apartment with my mom, and there was a bat in the house, and me and my mom were freaking out, and they make a weird high-pitched sound. They're horrifying.
Unlike anything you've ever heard, and they're making their location sound, their echolocation. You know it the second you hear it.
Yeah, you know the second you hear it. And me and my mom freaked out, and we hid in her bedroom. We didn't know what to do, because it's like, it's like, do we call the police? Like, I don't know what to do. And the bat they can fit under, like you said, this tiny sliver underneath the door.
That's all they need.
It's like a horror movie.
Yeah.
And it came in, and it made this weird sound, and I just end up killing my mom and eating her. And
Okay,
I just
so
want her to live through that.
So it's the absolute antithesis.
The love of bats is incorrect then.
All right. How?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know who said that.
It was when you were in Austin for your third time. It says, "Why do you keep coming back?" And you said, "I love Austin. I actually looked into buying a place there. Just like the vibe. It's creative. Everyone is super cool. I love the music, and you have bats. I want to move there and buy a bat farm."
It was a joke.
Yeah. I lied to that city. That was an open lie.
Christy, did you come up with that information? That's our intern, Christy,
Yeah.
by the way. She tried to go see your show last night, but got stuck in traffic and couldn't make it. She went all the way out there to Bethlehem.
I'm sorry.
And couldn't make it. And you got a show in Albany tonight?
I have Albany tonight and then Brigada tomorrow.
Wow, dude.
DC. Yeah, I'm on, I think it's like at 35 or 40 cities right now.
I mean, so now besides the flight, and you got that stuff all handled. Are you a good traveler generally?
Yes.
I mean,
I'm pretty easygoing. I mean,
Okay.
I have like a tour bus, so I don't have to fly a lot.
You have a tour bus, okay?
Yeah, and people think it's like wild, but it's really not. Like we go to like Whole Foods, and then like I'm trying not to like drink on this tour. I drank on the last tour, and it was just the wheels came off horrendously. I mean, it was ridiculous.
Do you self-impose? Because my wife will sometimes do that. Just like, and not she's not an alcoholic or anything. She just I just want to take a month or two and just take a break.
I'll go hard for like 5 years, and then I'll take like a month off. Yeah, and it really helps. Sure, it really helps.
5 years, 1 month. 5 years, 1 month.
It's all about the balance. You know what I mean?
Great to see you, man. Thanks for being
cheers,
here.
guys.
That is Nick Swartz. I had sex yesterday.
What?
I did. It was a wonderful experience. We had a window.
Oh,
very
could
rare.
people see through it?
It's very rare. Yes, of course.
I was watching the whole time.
Our next door neighbors.
Press, we're really enjoying it. Keep going.
Steve and Karina, hope you guys enjoyed that. No, it was nice. And when you've got essentially 5 grown people living in the same house, it's tough to find opportunities to do that. So I relish it when it happens. But there was an article that Steve had sent to me last week that I didn't get a chance to get to. And it's 7 things that men wish women would do the first time they have sex. But it's also 7 things that women wish men would do the first time.
So you're getting some assistance here, and I think at least one of them in both lists is do it by an open window.
I think so. So you want me to start with what the ladies would like?
I think that's the most interesting. Yes.
Ladies first?
Yeah, let's go that way.
Okay, so this is according to this article, and number 1 on the list is give lots of compliments at the start.
Way to go! That's my girl.
Even if it, and listen to the example here, even if it's a mumbled perfect breasts.
Oh my God! Wait, what?
Or.
There's no way.
What?
No!
What did I miss?
I get it. Just that.
Oh, grody.
That's like Casey's.
Well, that was more of a reaction than I thought.
Oh,
God. Your knockers. Not your knockers, your breasts. Your breasts are like melons. Not melons, like pillows. Can I fluff your pillows?
Oh, my God.
Or your breasts are perfect. Or your skin feels so soft.
Okay,
that one's
That's
okay,
all
right?
Yeah.
I want to turn it into a coat.
That's it.
Well,
Ed Gein? No, make some acknowledgement of the fact that you're thrilled that you finally got your hands on our body. This is according to women.
I've been waiting to feel you up for years.
Even if you don't think we're a 10.
WMMR.
All right, thank you very much, Kathy. Steve sent me over a story. The internet baffles me.
I know.
It truly does, especially since this thing is all over social media.
Yeah,
and I still can't figure it out.
So this is a thing.
It is a thing.
Apparently.
It's a big thing.
The question is to ask a man that you know, or if you're a man, to think about the question, how often do you think about the Roman Empire?
All right.
Nick's on board.
Oh, my God. What?
Well, there was a time where I was a little obsessed, Kath.
Okay.
And it was probably around Gladiator. And I loved that movie. I got way into it.
That's incitement to think more about it. So now...
So less than that now.
Yeah.
Less than that.
What would you say on an average per week?
Per week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I was going to go per month. Like,
Okay.
once per month.
Some people are saying a couple times a day.
No, that's way too
Really?
much.
Yeah.
I've got to ask my brothers this because now that I hear your explanation, Nick, they're obsessed with Gladiator. So
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll have an answer for me.
There was a show on HBO, I think it was HBO, called Rome as well, and I got into that for a little bit. So back in my Gladiator days, probably a little more often. It's probably only once a month now.
How about you guys?
Hardly ever.
Thank you.
Hardly
thank
ever.
Because when I saw this leads me to believe that all men are thinking about the Roman Empire, but me.
And I think
I'm
they're trying
no.
to push this. No, if I'm watching a movie, a Gladiator movie, I'll think about it.
Yeah.
If I'm a historical, but left to my druthers during the course of an average month, maybe never.
You don't sit around and daydream about togas and vomitoriums?
Yeah. No.
But it's funny that as soon as you said that, Nick was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. No, yeah. So
I had a face.
I'm sure it's going to resonate with some people, but I just, you can kind of just throw anything out onto social, and it's like throwing a bait. A piece of bait out, and sometimes you get these nibbles, and every
It's like
now and then
mass hypnosis,
you
right?
get a big bite. I don't know.
Listen. I think the Roman Empire. I'm a massive fan of Gladiator and Spartacus, and these so many period piece movies and all of that stuff. Yes, but I don't listen. Now you ask me how much I think about Batman. And that sort of stuff. That's many times.
Well, let's see if there's anybody listening that you regularly think about the Roman Empire. I'm just curious why. 215-263-WMMR.
In fact, what they ask is the women, girlfriends, wives, sisters would ask the man or men in your life how often they think about the Roman Empire.
This is a better joke when you read it, but Steve, this person texted in about V times per week.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it. You know, a couple of the responses online where a man said he thought about the Roman Empire up to 3 times a day. Another one said like all the time.
Why? What are they thinking about?
When asked why, the guy said the long-standing attribution of the word vomitorium and sometimes just Coliseum looks cool.
Yeah. If those are the thoughts, I mean, let me tell you, if I actually do think about it, it must be so insignificant that I can't recall thinking about it.
I actually
mean, you talk about, well, even like, I'm sorry, Case, but like even sex. So, you know, what do they say? What is this bizarre? What do they say? Every 2 minutes, 3 minutes, a guy thinks about sex. You know, and that's not true for me either. You know,
there's that great Norm Macdonald joke, Steve, where he talks about that exact same thing, and he says that's not true. We don't think about sex every 7 seconds or whatever the axiom is, but when we do think about sex, that is all we think about,
right?
And so we get very focused on that one thing.
All right. Well, how about this? How about historical things? Are there like I will from time to time think about the early space projects, or I will from time to time think about World War II. So if I'm going to think about history, that's kind of where my mind will go to.
So World War II pops up on my historical hit parade, thinking about it much more often than the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
All right. So I just realized when we started talking about it, I'm like, I don't ever think about the Roman Empire. But on Thursday night, I was actually thinking about the Roman Empire, and I was thinking about gladiator times because I was at the Eagles game and the whole pomp and circumstance and everything was going
pageantry.
on. And the pageantry. And I mean, it really is.
Yeah.
You know, they've done a lot of stuff with the pregame and, you know, as they're bringing the teams on and, you know, the whole show that they do. And I was like, this is crazy that this is what, you know, this is the biggest thing in the country.
And the Super Bowl uses Roman numerals.
Yeah, but and then I was like, I wonder if this is what it was like in gladiator times when everybody was kind of hanging in the Coliseum.
Much more primitive version of football.
Yeah, no doubt. And also, but then I was talking to Tyrone down the hall on Friday about the whole thing. He goes, yeah, but those people didn't choose to be inside the...
Good point.
Yeah.
However, though, if you went to a football game in the late 1960s and compared it to today, you'd be bored out of your mind probably because of what it has become.
You'd also be wearing a suit, which, you know.
That too, yeah, with a nice hat and all that stuff.
Fedora,
all right, hang on. We're going to go to some calls. I will go to Sean. Hey, Sean, good morning.
Hey, good morning,
Good morning to see you, Sean. What's up, bud?
Nothing. So my wife, she was talking about this last week. I think she's seen it on TikTok.
Yeah.
And just randomly we were watching TV, and she asked me about it. I don't know, like 1 or 2 times a week I think about it.
What are you thinking about, Sean, when you randomly start thinking about the Roman Empire?
Anytime I see like Roman numerals or any like you know, like the Super Bowl always, you know, the numbers are always in Roman numerals when they advertise for it. And anytime I see like an aqueduct or like old roads or anything like that, that's what like makes me.
Well, that makes sense. But do you say that do you sit there and go, man, those aqueducts, got to really think about how the Romans put those together? Or is it just a passing, fleeting thought?
Probably just a passing thought, not like actively thinking about it, but
okay, all right, but
things that I can see, you know.
All right, it does cross your mind in that way then. Okay, that's a little more casual approach. The way it seems to me, the way it is presented here is that people are just really giving it a good hard think.
That's what it comes across to me, like really ruminating on the Roman Empire.
Let's see. Let me go to we'll go to Chris. Hey, Chris, good morning.
Man, this guy just said everything I was going to say.
You were going to mention aqueducts?
Aqueduct, yeah. The freak, like I always go back to like that scene in Life of Brian, like, what have the Romans ever done for us? I'm like, the aqueduct.
Aqueducts are pretty happening.
So how often?
Every time I drive down that cobblestone road in Philadelphia, I'm like, how did the Romans perfect this and we can't do shit about it?
Can't say that, but
people using that word today.
But hang on a second, Chris. How often will you think about the Roman Empire?
Every gosh darn day.
Every gosh darn day. Darn it.
All right, I gotta go.
All right, thanks.
He's caught up in the aqueducts and the roads. Rome was known for their road system.
Here's a text that says, honestly, I'm a woman and I think of the Roman Empire all the time. I have reoccurring dreams. I was a regular in a Roman Empire bathhouse. Wouldn't be surprised if it was a past life. When I heard about this phenomenon where guys are thinking about the Roman Empire, I was like, holy S, that is me. And that's a woman thinking about it.
I just don't process it that way.
No. All right, we'll go to Sean. Hey, Sean, good morning.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. What's up, Sean?
Oh, it's just like Groundhog Day. I wake up every morning thinking I'm driving a chariot and wearing a toga. Don't know why.
Really?
Every morning?
Almost every morning, at least 5 out of 7 days.
And you will dream about this or think about it or both?
Dream about it.
Dream about it.
Have you ever had the opportunity to ride in a chariot?
Well, when I drive to work, I drive my van.
That's your version of a chariot.
That's your version of a chariot.
All right, thanks,
Wow,
Sean. I
that's
appreciate
committed.
it. You know what I always have wanted to go on is sometimes you'll see a security guard has like a chariot version of a Segway.
Yes.
They have more wheels. They're a little bit bigger.
I like those.
And and they look very
chariot-like.
Roman-esque,
Yeah.
you know?
It's got sort of the wraparound.
Yeah.
It's just- yeah.
If you could put some spikes on the wheels
Right.
on the side, that'd be perfect,
Ben
right?
Hur with Segways.
All right, I'll go next to Jeff. Hey, Jeff, good morning. Jeff, can you hear me, bud?
Hey, how are you? Good morning, guys.
Good morning, bud. What's up?
So I think about it probably 2 or 3, maybe 4 times a week.
Really?
And what are you thinking about when you think about the Roman Empire?
You know how they say we're doomed to repeat ourselves and how the Roman Empire was so great and then
collapsed,
kind of died.
Yeah.
They got So I know it's like doom and gloom thing, but it's like I worry about that kind of thing.
Okay, so seeing how an empire, a society can implode, can collapse, and that really did happen. And maybe if you start to analyze what we're seeing in our own situations in this country and other countries and around the world, how that actually could happen today.
Yeah, because it says we're kind of going into that way. So it's something I think about on a regular.
I got you. All right, appreciate it. Thanks, Jeff.
Think about those moments where you like stop during your day and just go, "Oh, that Colosseum."
Yeah.
How did they build that?
Constantly.
Like I'm yeah, right.
Well, I did watch a video, and it's not like I went and looked for it, but it probably ended up on my I think my Instagram feed about how this one road was built by the Romans.
Yes.
And it was I mean, I have an appreciation for what they were able to do with, limited technology.
But I think at this point is that you just out of the blue, you start thinking about something associated with the Roman Empire, and I couldn't say that I ever do unless incited to by a documentary or something.
Yeah, some kind of trigger. Not
if I'm just sitting there twiddling my thumbs. My first thought is not the Roman Empire.
Yeah, not casually driving by an aqueduct. I won't stop and consider that the Romans.
Do you people even know?
I'm going to go to Ned. Hi, Ned.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. What's up, my man?
The Roman Empire comes up way more often in my life than it should.
Okay. How does it usually?
Oh my God.
How does it usually come up?
Jeff, who had the comment about history repeating itself. Yeah, absolutely. The gradual drift to dictatorship, but other stuff, concrete. Romans invented it. Took us thousands of years to reproduce it. Arches, domes, and you can even get outside of our architecture if you have to.
Okay.
I mean, heck, they were the first thing called a Senate.
Yeah.
It's and Roman words are everywhere, and I always try and stick them in there because it confuses people, which always makes me feel better.
Would you call yourself sort of a student of history and specifically this time? Is that why you think about it so often?
Literally, I took classes in college. I took Latin as my foreign language.
Well, there you go.
I didn't want to learn to speak anything. I just wanted to write it.
Ned, what are some words that you can throw about that?
I can actually say a couple of really important phrases.
Okay.
Ego tudides, a quotiam malcia sater, in liquidum redeat. I'm not Diomedes, and I didn't hurt your mother, who is the goddess Aphrodite.
Oh, okay.
Well, you want to make sure that they know that before they arrest you.
It might come up.
Yeah.
You never know. If you're stuck with a goddess in front of you or a god who's angry, it's a good thing to be able to claim.
I think that's cool.
You never know, man.
Yeah.
I did have a while, though, we had to try to analyze poetry in Latin in a class, and it was kind of funny because the poem was a long one about how to fall out of love with your girlfriend, called Remedia Amoris, a remedy for love. And it was pretty funny because all the things they brought up were useful in my life.
Interesting.
So it transcended the time span between the Roman Empire and now and was still useful.
People have not changed as much as we think we have.
Right.
That's
the
pretty
only thing
cool.
I can say is they were really excited about the idea that the March of History would wipe them out because they were like, oh, I mean, there were so many fewer people. They were like, oh, man, I totally screwed up. And Cicero was saying that, and one of his buddies goes to him, don't worry, everyone's going to forget you in 100 years.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
It's an entirely different thing now. Like, I want to be immortal. I want to put my names. And they're like, no. Everyone's going to remember the good stuff. Just forget all my humiliating mistakes.
And yet we remember Cicero to this day.
We do, yeah.
Well, I do.
You do.
I don't.
All right,
I'm
Ned.
one of the few.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you, bud.
Chickpea, by the way, which I think is very funny.
What's that?
Cicero, absolute name, and it meant garbanzo bean.
Cicero's name means garbanzo bean?
What's up, chickpea? That's like roast beef.
Hey, Krispy Kreme.
You throw that around a little bit.
Hey, Krispy Kreme.
There's another Latin word for you. Have a good one, guys.
All right, take care, bud. We'll see you later. Wow.
There's that quote, Patton, it's attributed, he was quoting a Roman philosopher, I believe it was, and the notion that a conquering Roman general returning to Rome in the chariot, and I don't know if this is apocryphal or not, there would be someone standing next to him whispering in his ear, all glory is fleeting. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that's more metaphorical.
Probably.
But still.
But interesting.
Yeah, but interesting to remember that this is temporary.
This is going to come and go.
Yeah,
exactly. All right, hang on. We have to go to someone named Roman, obviously.
there you go.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Roman. You're on the air, bud.
Good morning.
Good morning to see you. What's up, bud?
None. I just wanted to chime in because I think about the Roman Empire like Nick, maybe several times a day because of.
No,
Nick says he does it every 10 minutes.
No, Nick says a couple times a month.
Okay,
not several times a day. But your name is Roman, so I mean I can see why, right?
That and a lot of times over the phone, people don't get my name, and I always have to be like, yeah, like the Empire.
Well, there you go. You've got a built-in reason to be thinking about the Roman Empire.
Right, and I'm obsessed with the emperors, and then the Republic before it was an empire. The whole history of it.
Well, what is your favorite film that depicts ancient Rome or the Roman Empire?
Not necessarily film, but TV show. I did like the Ray Stevenson one and the HBO one.
Yeah, Rome. That was the one I was referencing earlier. It's a great show.
Do you know it's a sensational movie? Is Spartacus? Is the Stanley Kubrick film Spartacus?
And the TV show, the Stars TV show.
Yeah, I didn't get to see a lot. There were people who loved that series, but I never got to see a lot of it. But yeah, the actual original movie is pretty amazing.
So several times a day for you, Roman.
Yep, like yesterday I was mowing my lawn, and I was listening to the Guns N' Roses version of the Rolling Stone.
Live and Let Die?
Welcome to the vomitorium.
When he's talking about, how Pompous Pilate washed his hands, I'm like, oh, yeah. And
Sympathy for the Devil.
Okay, yeah.
Sympathy for the Devil, that's it.
Yeah.
So right there.
No, maybe they did a cover of it. I don't know. But he's talking about the, wash his hands. Sealed his fate and washed his hands. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Whatchamacallit. Several times a day, I sometimes, especially Pompeii.
Well, let me ask you, and you have to be straight up honest. Are you wearing a toga right now?
No, I'm wearing my...
No, he only does that while he's mowing the lawn, Steve.
Yeah, with the brush helmet.
All right. We appreciate it, Roman. Thanks for checking in. What is the difference between a republic and an empire? Does anybody know offhand? Because he said he appreciated the republic before it became an empire. I don't know.
That's a good question. An empire.
Is one a dictatorship? I don't know.
Well, no. Yeah, Nick, if you can do it.
wouldn't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't want to put
The
my
basic premise, and this is just from a quick search: republics are governmental systems that rule over a nation, while empires might rule over various nations or geographical regions.
Got it.
And then obviously an emperor is the head of an empire, and it'd be an elected official for a republic.
Okay. Let's see. Man, we got a lot of calls here.
Oh, you know what? Did you do this
5?
one?
Yeah, I was thinking of that too. All right. So we will go to Mike next.
Hi,
Hey,
Mike.
Hey, Mike. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. I would say, so this bizarre thing, I'm just going to reset here, Mike, for those who are tuning in. There's a social media thing going on that says that men like to randomly think about the Roman Empire way more than you think. We here and on the show don't really concur with that, but we're getting a lot of calls. So, Mike, do you think about it quite a bit?
You know, my wife asked me this the other day, and I thought it was absurd. But then I actually sat down and thought about it. I think about it every time I see subway tracks or train tracks.
And why is that?
Because the Roman chariot, the wheel width, to this day, is the same width of the train tracks or subway tracks.
Oh my God!
So the width that one would find on a classic Roman chariot, the width, the distance between the wheels would be the same as the distance between train wheels on a track.
Correct. The trains that you see pass by every day are affected by the width of the wheels of the chariot in the Roman Empire, from the subway tracks to the train tracks. So even to the space shuttle, when its parts are being transported back and forth, the Roman Empire affects that.
Nick, can you just do a quick check? Not that I don't believe it, but I just want to get some verification on that.
That is a factoid that is stuck with you. Okay, Nick, you found this. It says Roman chariots influencing train tracks, how history has its fingers everywhere.
Isn't that
This article.
amazing?
Yeah.
To be honest, my perception of the average Roman chariot was not that it was that wide.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
But you know what? The tracks themselves are not that
They're not
wide.
that crazy
So
wide.
when you set, for example, I found it interesting learning about most of your trains, or at least trains for a good run of the train history of the United States and around the world. The trains are pretty much just by their sheer weight loaded on top of these platforms where the wheels are on. They're not attached like, they're bolted on in case the train derails.
All right, Steve, you want a quick? I'm going to try this as quickly as possible, but this is a history between the trains and the chariots.
All right.
Train gauge, 4 feet, 8.5 inches. Why was that gauge used? Well, there's how they built them in England, and English engineers designed the first U.S. railroads. Why did the English build them like that? Because the first rail lines were built by the same people who built the wagon tramways, and that's the gauge that they use. So why do they use that gauge then? Because of the people who built tramways used the same jigs and tools that they had for building wagons and used that same wheel spacing. Why did the wagons have that particular odd wheel spacing? Well, if they tried any other spacing, the wagon wheels would break more often than some of the old long-distance roads that they used in England. That's the spacing of the original wheel ruts. And why were those wheel ruts in those rutted roads like that? Imperial Rome built the first long-distance roads in Europe, including England, for their legions. And what did they use to travel those roads? Chariots.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Okay.
Well, you open up our eyes there, Mike.
You let that bake your noodles.
Yeah. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it, bud. All right, we'll see.
That is fascinating. I've not been to Italy or Rome. I would love to go visit. I hear they have pizza.
They do have pizza. I've been to Italy. I've not been to Rome.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seep into my head all that often. The Roman.
With you thinking about it every hour?
My daughter was just there in June.
Yeah.
I have not been there. But
would you think you'd be more? Would you be more impressed with the Greek?
Yeah,
history?
actually, a little bit.
Yeah.
I find that a little more fascinating.
If you were there, you would be into it. It's amazing to see. I'm saying in Rome.
In Rome, okay.
Yeah,
probably.
You would. Once you step into anywhere, you're like, okay, wow.
Yeah. It's so old.
Yeah.
And you can't help but be impressed by all of that
Right,
stuff.
I feel like a V-year-old.
I feel like I'm V years old. But I just, it doesn't randomly seep into my my day-to-day, just when I'm kind of daydreaming or just having free thought. I don't really think about
Stop
it.
and think about it, though. The actual just free stream of consciousness there.
Yeah.
Think about what you may very well be unaware of that you're thinking of quite often.
Yeah.
Because it seems like like almost a secondary track running in your mind.
God, I think about golf way too much. I mean, I just sit there and think about it all day long. It's terrible.
Yeah. So is that you think that's...
Oh, I know that is mainly what I think about. I will lie in bed for an hour with all the lights off and just sit there and think about it.
What do you think about? Do you think about the
last few rounds that I played, the what I could have done right,
golf,
what I did do right, ways that I can improve in this, and strategies on this particular golf course that I might try the next time that I play. It's stupid.
Nero on golf. Preston, I get that. When you become fixated about things something that you adore.
Guess where the Ryder Cup is this year, Preston?
It's in Rome.
Rome, Italy. Worlds are colliding.
You gotta go. You gotta go.
You gotta go.
You gotta go.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
The Ryder Cup in Marco Simone, Rome, Italy, starts on the 29th.
That's
Nick,
hilarious.
what do you think of? What do you think you might in Preston's?
Yeah, what randomly
what do
enters
you
in your
think
mind?
of? What sort of shocks you that you think about so much?
You kind of referenced it earlier, Stephen. It's when it's flights of fancy, and I think about how things are interconnected. It's comic book world. It's Marvel Universe,
right,
and or Star Wars. And currently, it's Star Wars because of Ahsoka, and I'm into that show. And so, I think about, oh, what if Luke showed up here? And I can't believe that Darth Vader took the path down this way, and whatever. And it's moronic and completely.
I hear you and
based
Kathy talking about it all.
Yeah, no, but I mean, none of it is reality, of course.
I know.
But I think about how
it doesn't matter.
It affects my day-to-day thoughts. The thing actually that I wish I thought about less, to be honest, is money. I get a little obsessive about money sometimes, and think about when do I owe this bill and that.
That's a real world. Not that golf is.
I know.
It's all real world in some level. Casey,
Thanos isn't real world either.
I know.
So I think about Thanos a lot.
But what occupies, again, in your mind, the way Preston is constantly thinking about golf, is there something that's running in the back of your mind that is always
football?
No.
Really?
Well, right now, probably fantasy football and stuff like that. So maybe my stuff is more seasonal than anything else. But, listen, they're
I'm seasonal, too.
Yeah. So
mine's like decorations.
Activities, man.
Activities.
But you can't really think of what...
No, listen, there are a lot of things that I obsess over that are silly, like things like Back to the Future, and maybe you were talking about Marvel, like how I could have made Infinity War and Endgame better, because I love those movies, and but now that everything is kind of played out, I'm like, well, why didn't Ant-Man just go climb into Thanos and then explode from the inside?
Like they did in The Boys.
Yeah.
Casey likes to have kind of abstract thoughts.
Ant-Man goes into Thanos' dong. And then goes full
expand.
side. Yeah, like The Boys.
Done. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Paul Rudd actually addressed that one time about Ant-Man going into, it was not his dong, it was Thanos' butthole.
Yeah.
And how come,
Why not his mouth?
Yeah.
I mean, why go into the...
You'd have a good story to tell.
But also...
Guess who blew out Thanos' butthole?
I've thought about that scene from The Boys, and he was only in his dong. He wouldn't explode his whole body. He would just explode his wiener.
Well, it depends on which angle he was facing when he... As the guy hunches over, and he could go up the urethra and then into the organs and detonate, just explode them.
Yeah.
I think about... what kind of dog I want next a lot.
But so these are just multiple things. There's no overarching.
Well, right now it's dogs. Right now it's whether or not I should get a dachshund, or if I should get a Bernese Mountain Dog.
Oh, yeah, Bernie.
They're similar.
I'll come over.
They're very, very
Kathy,
similar.
So activities for you.
Similar.
Yeah.
Get the Bernies, please.
Okay.
Please.
Fine.
Do we have to wait till one passes away, or are you getting
no.
He doesn't want a dead dog.
No, stop.
Yeah, why would I want a dead dog?
Hey, kids, I brought him a dead Burmese mountain dog.
What about you, Steve? What?
So tech stuff. Movies. A lot of times, I bet if I did this. I bet if I ran this through this. I bet if I hooked this up to this.
Right.
Oh, the preset on this.
Right.
That's a secondary track in my mind. So a lot of times if I'm like downtime, like Preston, if we're sitting in the office or whatever, I'll hear a little golf video pop up, that you're watching. You may hear me, the new short throw projector, these little things that are like, you get it really the worst, and you were referencing it years ago, when we were both hardcore into gaming, when you would it would consume Kathy, your waking, everything.
And sleeping.
How do I get past that gate?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. Zelda, thinking about how to get past certain areas.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Even the very little amount of video games that I played, that even happened.
It consumed
to me.
you? Yeah. It's going to do it.
All right, I want to go back to the Roman Empire. We're going to have to break here in a moment, but people have been on hold for a long time. Let me go to Lee. Hi, Lee. Good morning to you.
Hey, good morning.
Lee. We have a Lee clip. All right, Lee, you think about the Roman Empire?
So I have to tell you, it's not just a phenomenon that's going on with guys. This has been like my whole life. At least once a month, I will dream about it. And I think about it at least once or twice a week. And it's always like a reoccurring dream I've had has been that I've been like in a bathhouse in the Roman Empire.
Wow. Have you ever actually been to a bathhouse? Because we were in Bath in England, which was a Roman, I guess community when they conquered the area. And it's pretty amazing.
I would love to see one in person one day, but I've had these dreams even since I was a kid. Like I just assumed, thought of it like a swimming pool. And as I got older and I don't know, it just got more defined. Maybe my brain just kind of set it up, but there's definitely, naked people everywhere. And it's very similar every time I have the same dream, but I think about the dream, but then I also think about just the Roman Empire. Like what would it have been like living back then?
It is fascinating. I mean, Kathy, you were to Pompeii, were you not?
Yes.
Yeah, so all of that, that alone, all that stuff, not that you'd want to be burned to death in molten lava. I think a bathhouse is probably more relaxing, but but that's it's all interesting. Do you think it has sort of a sexy or sexual aspect to it?
No, it was just like that. This is life. This is life. This is what my life was.
Interesting.
I feel I don't know. It's very just it's almost. It makes me remember a time that I never was at.
Reincarnation, perhaps.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. And it's so funny as this whole trend came about. I was like, it blew my mind. Whoa! I thought I was the only one, and it's not just guys. It's just so crazy that we're talking about this.
Thanks for your angle. Yeah,
appreciate it. It's interesting when people do kind of have a fantasy about ancient times.
Yeah,
and not think about the realities of ancient times, like. No dental care.
Yeah. Here's your crap box.
No shampoo.
Right.
No place to regularly get clean. I mean, really clean.
No air conditioning.
No AC. If you could die if you cut yourself. And there's just it was. You were lucky if you lived to your 40s.
The Hugh Jackman movie with Meg Ryan, the romantic.
Yes, where he comes from the past.
Right. And mind you, he's only coming from 100 years ago, 150 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's a rom-com. At the end, she goes back with him. It's like, just wait, sister.
Yeah, it's pretty disgusting.
Even now, you're going to have a blast.
But even, struggling for food, all the things that come along with reality of that time. All right, let me go to Carlo. I know we got a break here in just a second. Hey, Carlo, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
I think about it almost every day.
You think about Roman Empire almost every day?
I saw the TikTok that day, and then that night, my toilet clogged. I had to fix it. I was like, "Oh, the Roman Empire invented plumbing." and then I was like, and then the next day, I thought of my favorite movie, probably of all time, is History of the World. So
there you go. Yeah,
pump the crap right out of your house.
Exactly. So it was the first thing I thought of when I was plunging the toilet. I thought of History of the World, and I thought of the Roman Empire. I'm from Italy, but my dad's from Naples, but I've been to Rome a bunch of times, and I took Latin in high school, so a lot of our words, fornication is where the
It's a good word.
No, it's where the archway was. That's where the prostitutes used to hang out. So fresco, all these words that come from
favorite drink,
Latin or Rome.
Fresco.
It's in my head almost every day. Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
Listen, so you're immersed in it. I actually envy you that you have that sort of well-rounded take on it. But the fact that you're listening, that you're thinking about it that much, to the lay person who isn't thinking about it, it seems kind of interesting and even a little weird. But
Thanks, Carlo. We appreciate it. Mitchell, I'm sorry I don't get a chance to go to you. He said he thinks about it daily. Lived in Italy for 2 years, and it's when he sees the architecture that he does it. Hang on. John has I know we have to break, but John's got a dad joke. All right, John, we don't have much time. What's your dad joke, bud?
Gotcha.
All right, this is for Casey boy. You know, I don't often think about the Roman Empire, but when I sit down on the couch with my feet up, I tend to go to the Ottoman Empire.
Thank you,
That
John.
is great.
Casey appreciates that.
Yes.
All right. Well, I guess that to some people it's there. It's always in the back of their mind. For whatever reason that is.
And women too, apparently.
All right, we are going to take a break. We'll come back in a moment. Don't forget your next chance to win $1,000 with MMR's Crumb Bum Cash comes up at 10 a.m. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. Tell us anyway.
When you were our babysitter, I so wanted to feel you up, but now you're of age.
It says there's nothing sexier than a lover looking at you up and down, then straight into the eye and saying, "My God," in a strangled, overcome voice.
I think it's just because it's coming from you, maybe. I'm not.
That's weird.
Let me ask you, Kathy, and Marissa, so we have you both in. Wait a minute.
Thanks.
And is
Hand that off.
there, do you like being talked to a lot during?
No, she doesn't.
Yeah.
Kathy.
Shut up.
Yeah, totally.
Get it over.
Shut up.
Stop bothering me.
Yeah.
Close your eyes.
Make your deposit and shut up.
By the way, I want to try this. It says, try saying "my God" in a strangled, overcome voice. So let me try that.
God.
My God. Oh, my God.
Oh my God.
She says it's daunting being naked in front of someone for the first time. Knowing you think we look great helps us relax into it. Okay. All right, number 2 on this list. These are things that 7 things that women hope for the first time you have sex with them. Show us how much you want us.
Oh, okay.
It says a bit of caveman is a good thing.
I did a pie chart presentation here, if you don't mind. If you notice in the first graph, the overlapping colors depict how much I want you.
No, it says a bit of caveman is a good thing.
This is terrible.
It says this doesn't mean pushing us back on the bed, unzipping yourself and going for it.
No.
That we don't want. But being too tentative is an equal turnoff.
Yeah.
So you
I
have
can
to-
see that.
You want to be a man, but you don't want to be over.
You have to be
overzealous.
a polite caveman.
Right.
Would it be okay if I jumped on you?
Grog-like. All right, and then number 3 on this list it says once our consent has been given, go for it.
Well,
it says undress us like we're the most longed for present you've ever wanted.
A PlayStation.
Just thinking of those 2 little kids in front of the Christmas tree.
Just ripping their clothes off.
That's exactly what I wanted.
It says, let your eyes and fingers trail over every part. Let us see naked lust in your eyes.
Would you just get this over with?
Grab a handful of hair and pull it.
Oh, my God.
That's my pubic hair.
Grab our face and kiss us hard. Let me grab your face.
What are you doing?
I'm tugging on your ears.
You're hurting me. I can't breathe. I know you're holding. Listen, stop it. Relax.
All right. Number 4 on this list is it says give us lots.
Locks?
No, I'm sorry. Kiss us lots.
Here's some locks. Here's a schmear.
No, kiss us lots. Soft kisses on the lips. Deep kisses with an occasional tongue darting in and out. Nibbles and bites on the neck.
All right, so let me ask you guys, and we've heard this said in a number of surveys, that those little aspects of affection are actually more desirable in the long run. The gentle stroking, massaging and kisses, and that romantic side of it is more what is preferred. Is that correct? I pose it to you two.
I don't know. This is all disgusting. Hearing
Oh
it from you
my
guys.
God. It all depends on the person. I'm going to speak up for the ladies.
no, it does.
Some people, you need to have communication when you're getting naked.
I love a neck kiss. If
Okay.
that's where you're going for,
Okay,
Steve.
yeah.
But like too soft.
That's a big turn on.
Nah,
Yeah.
you need to, like-
What about darting tongues and that strangled voice?
Darting tongues. That's where I draw a line.
Steve.
What are you saying? I don't like that sound.
You had darting tongues one time, right?
Darting tongues?
Or licking tongues?
I mean,
Oh, they
licked
lick
my
your
face.
face. Oh, my God.
Right in front of you, too.
You had a face licker in front of Kathy?
It was a joke.
Oh,
But we
okay.
were like at an appearance. We were like Questlove was DJing. We were
I don't
hosting a party.
Stop it, I just put my makeup on.
All right, it says women love kissing, so don't rush through it. And to get to the main event, for you, that's intercourse. Foreplay is the best part for us.
Is it really the best part, though?
I don't know.
For you? I'm asking the ladies.
It depends on who you're talking to. That's the thing.
Just get it done. Get it done. And shut up. Stop with the darting tongue and no pooper.
Kathy, we need a shirt for you that just says off me. Off me.
No.
Off me. All right, number 5, give great oral.
You still owe me another month's rent. So if I were you, I would start doing some tongue exercises before Friday.
Oh, my
God.
That's Kingpin.
Kingpin?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Dude.
She's great.
We need to isolate that.
Yep, we have it.
Just one more time.
God, she's awesome.
Fantastic. I'm not even going to go into the details of that particular.
You know it is, yeah.
To that particular.
Using your mouth to provide pleasure.
Yeah, but it goes into some detail, and I'm not going to go into that right now.
Dad, can I talk to you for a minute?
Okay, number 6
I was going to say
says.
that some men might need that detail, so look it up if you need it.
Yes, yeah, for real.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and ask. Feel free to ask what they prefer. I think anyway. Like, do you like it when I do that?
Yeah.
When I go like this?
Like
What is it about good?
Oh, I thought you were
I was
queuing
right.
that one up again.
It's still good.
All right, so here's another one.
Yeah.
And I think we agree on this. The ladies say, let us finish first.
Yes.
By finish, you know what I mean.
Yes.
Everyone knows the second he's done, sex is done. It's polite and it's logical. Men usually save their last moment for intercourse.
Yeah.
It's the finale. I mean, the confetti comes out, you know.
Yeah. But it also says, but don't stress if we don't.
That's right.
If we end up not having that happen.
You, men?
Yeah. No. Women. Don't
not finish.
Don't stress. I'm reading the article from a woman's perspective.
Okay.
Don't stress if the woman doesn't complete.
It would probably help if you said it
no,
like
you should
with
stress.
a woman's voice. So we.
I don't have the thing.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I didn't finish, I didn't like it, and I wanted you off me all the time. But you're the king.
Oh my God.
You're the best, Rubber Johnny.
Casey almost spit coffee out.
Rubber Johnny.
That's his name.
Rubber Johnny is that
Yeah, I
character
know.
that Steve is playing.
Oh, Rubber Johnny. Oh, yeah. Oh,
It's
yeah.
from a song.
Oh, you're the king. You're the king. All right. Now I'm going to Floral and Hardy.
It's saying that if the woman does not complete, you don't have to freak out about it. So that's just what this particular article says.
Just don't
But I
give
mean-
up too quickly.
Oh no! You want to
Yeah.
listen? There, yes.
You can go get tools.
Yeah, you can work really, really
I
hard,
need a new drill bit.
but at some point, we know where Marissa's priority is.
Oh, I'm just speaking for the women that Kathy's not representing.
Thank you.
But if she says, "Hey, we tried. Let's move on,"
Yeah.
then you got to move on.
Then one last thing it says here is what women would like the first time that you sleep with them.
That's right. This is all under the umbrella of first
time.
encounters.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense. That actually
missed that
casts a different. I wasn't keeping that in context. It's like when I play Jeopardy and I forget the category. Yeah, so that changes some of my responses.
And then finally, say something nice afterwards.
You seem to be planning for the future.
It says some men clam up because they're concerned that they didn't perform well.
You know, for as small as that is, I actually enjoyed it.
And they don't want verbal confirmation. If they rave about how great it was, you might come back with a dry, well, it was for one of us. And it says, we get that, but you may need, and I should be saying this in a female voice.
Let me do it.
We get that.
Okay, baby.
But
you just say it and I'll repeat it.
We get that, but you need to understand that women operate differently. If there was a problem, talking about it helps. If it was great, talking about it makes it even better. At the very least, give us a squeeze and a kiss and say, I think you're amazing.
I think you're amazing, too.
Yeah.
A squeeze and a kiss.
I think you're amazing.
I love the way your skin generates mucus.
All right. Do you want to hear what the men say?
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, okay, this is your first encounter.
Yep.
And what men say they want.
Yes. All right. 7 things men wish women would do the first time they have sex. All right, here we go.
Stop telling you to get off.
No. Number 1, keep the lights on. Says a bit of a mood lighting is great and preferable to a gnarly bright room. But total darkness isn't. It's hard enough for him to guess if you're enjoying what he's doing by looking into your face and reading your body language. Trying to determine it when he can't see a thing is damn near impossible.
Do you like rave lighting?
No. But I can see that. Yeah. Look, complete darkness, total darkness, no.
No.
I do like a darkly...
accents of light.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. It's just a little bit so that you don't... I'm having a really good time!
Man. Okay, never mind.
Okay, no.
Go ahead.
I need to hear
Take it now.
There was one time, my girlfriend at the time and we were at somebody's house whose parents were out of town, which is just licensed to have at it. So we go up into a bedroom. It's later in the evening, and it's pitch black dark, and I'm doing this. Okay. And our friend, I think it was our friend Cindy, comes in and flips on the brightest lights in the world. And I'm like, I mean, buried in it. And it was just, when those lights came on, it was like, oh my God.
What happens is that it's like seeing a bar you go to in the broad daylight.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's jarring.
Different story.
You look up, your mouth looks like you're in a watermelon eating contest.
So anyhow, a little bit of light. Guys would like a little bit of light. I'm okay with that. Number 2 says, don't stress out about your own body. A guy said, I slept with a girl who was so paranoid, she wouldn't let me touch her anywhere. She kept pushing my hands away and saying things like, don't touch my stomach. It's revolting. I gave up after a while and sex didn't happen at all. Because these are features that she didn't find flattering about herself.
And it's a sad thing to feel that way. And we all have our insecurities.
Sure.
And once you realize that, but a lot of times, again, people come in with standards that they've seen cultivated in movies and Instagram filters and all that stuff, and they think, oh my God, I'm falling short. And the truth is, you're normal, and a lot of what you see is abnormal.
It says insisting on darkness, hiding under the covers, keeping your bra on because you don't like your breasts.
I keep my bra on.
Wearing a T-shirt to bed. We're getting better, but a lot of women are still unnecessarily self-critical about their own bodies.
Yeah.
Number 3, don't overreact if all does not go to plan. This is guys. This is what they want women to do. Not overreact if all does not go to plans. It really helps to remember that you aren't the only one out to impress that very first time. Performance anxiety is real, and an anxious owner makes for, it says here, a penis that doesn't want to come out and play. It's normal for him to have issues the first time. It doesn't mean that he doesn't fancy you or that... I don't mean to go back to the Roman Empire thing again, but there was a text I didn't get a chance to get to. We were just had a conversation about, for some reason, a lot of guys and women too, but mainly guys randomly think about the Roman Empire, like a lot. And somebody texted in and said they were at the MMRBQ and they were thinking of the Roman Empire because they were looking at the pit.
Yes.
And all the activity that was going on there. And I guess it made them think of maybe the Colosseum and the gladiator fights or something. I don't really know. Yeah, so just being in that moment and seeing the pit go crazy, I thought part of this must be how the crowds reacted during the Colosseum fights. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I guess that's where the mind goes. Well, I don't know. I don't know if this will bring up any thoughts of the Roman Empire, but today is National Cheeseburger Day.
Oh my God, I have to celebrate.
You already celebrated?
No, I have to.
Oh,
It is my Steve. It's my favorite food. It is.
So the classic cheeseburger, your favorite food.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer a double unless the burger itself is pretty big. But that whole. Hey, if you could only have one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
It'd be cheeseburgers?
It would be a cheeseburger.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yes.
Huh.
Cheeseburgers are pretty damn good.
I more often have it without cheese. I don't have cheeseburgers a lot. When I do, I love them. They're great.
If you can make a burger and throw a slice of and I say slice, but really it would be like a block of cheese in the middle of it and have a cheeseburger bomb. I'm telling you.
You know what I've done?
I
fed a block of cheese to a cow. And used a flamethrower on it.
By the way, I think that a burger without cheese is a wasted burger.
Yeah.
I almost say you can't. That's my It's all we all have our own personal taste.
Trust me, you're legion.
So good.
Those who believe that. I get it.
And a variety of cheeses. A mixture of cheeses.
Yes, I think I have. I like I like it more sans cheese. But still, you get like a different kind of cheese. You don't have to go think outside the box. Oh,
crap.
Preston, I
would not put crap on my.
No. I was eating a cheeseburger on Friday. Kathy, go ahead, and then I'll do.
I wouldn't eat it if it didn't have cheese on it.
Okay.
Like to me, it's not
really.
It's not worth it. Then.
All right.
No.
I'm on board. All right. Casey pulled something out of his wallet.
It's a picture of me eating a cheeseburger.
I was eating a cheeseburger at McDonald's on Friday, and there were a couple of guys at that McDonald's that listened to the show, and they asked me to give them a shout out.
Go ahead.
And I was like, "You write it down, and I'll do it." And thank God we're having this conversation. So shout out to the electrical workers, 126 and Miller Brothers. Thank you guys so much for listening to the show. We really appreciate it. And they wrote that shout out on a receipt.
On a receipt for you?
Yeah.
From
So
McDonald's?
What
they have?
They had a Big Mac meal.
All right.
Plus,
That's got cheese on it.
Yeah. And a 6-piece nugget.
Okay.
It's a solid meal.
That's not bad.
I don't have a history of cheeseburgers or anything like that, which usually happens.
What about the Roman Empire?
On a national day? Yeah, maybe they had burgers back in the day. I don't really know.
Did it?
Marcus Aurelius, we offer you a cheeseburger.
Did they start in Hamburg? I mean, is that where?
That's where, listen, again, I tell you, I have a profound knowledge of burgers because I won a coloring contest sponsored by McDonald's. Yes, it's my understanding that the hamburger came out of Hamburg, Germany.
So here's a little factoid about cheeseburgers. It says in this particular article that Nick pulled up, many food historians credit 16-year-old Lionel Sternberger, who is 1924, decided to slap of American cheese onto a cooking hamburger at his father's Pasadena, California sandwich shop, the right spot, which is what it was called. He liked it, and so did his dad, and thus the cheeseburger.
So this is a domestic creation. Did not know that.
I believe so.
Cheeseburger was invented by Sternberger.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Hey, what kind of cheese do you prefer in your burgers?
I like all kinds of stuff. Not necessarily a preference. It just depends on what the mood. I could do anything from American to blue to Gruyere to Gouda to
Famunda.
Havarti.
What about Velveeta?
Not now. When I was a kid, yes.
Okay.
I like
kinda
cheddar.
Grown a little bit out of Velveeta, but did you see the movie The Menu?
Yes.
Really disturbing movie.
Yep.
But Ray Fiennes' character, there's a cheeseburger that comes into play in the movie, and he goes, and he's supposedly like the greatest chef in the world. He says, American cheese is the perfect cheese for a cheeseburger because it doesn't break when it melts.
Right.
So even though American cheese kind of seems like pedestrian and throwaway,
I love it.
apparently for a hamburger, it's ideally made for a cheeseburger. And there's some people that are very specific. You can't once you put cheese on a burger, you can't call it a hamburger. It's a cheeseburger. And cheeseburgers are not the same thing as hamburgers. I don't want to get into semantics about that, but some people do get a little touchy.
It always
about
erupts into a knife fight.
Yeah.
Back in the day when I was in high school, we used to, listen, this is stealing. But we used to pull up to a drive-through, and we would say, "Hey, you forgot to put a cheeseburger in our last order," and they'd be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and then they hand you a cheeseburger and you just drive away.
It's a scam, yeah.
It's a scam. So we did it one time, but my friend was lactose intolerant, and he would only get plain cheeseburgers, and they're like, we never had that order in like the last 20 years. And then we were like, okay, I think maybe you're right. And then we just drove away.
Oh, man. What's that all about?
I used to pull up and I would hold a gun out and I'd say, I believe you forgot the money in the register.
Works every time.
Yeah.
Steve, did the McDLT have cheese on it? I don't think it did.
Yeah.
I think it stayed on the cold side.
Right. Cold side, hot, cold side, cold. I used to love the McDLT.
I loved it.
It was so dumb. Do you guys remember the McDLT?
Of course.
Yeah.
Never
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I made them.
You made them, yeah.
That's right.
Hot side, hot, cold side, cool.
I think the cheese was on the hot side.
I thought it was kept on the cold side.
No, it's
Which
gotta be on the
you
hot
would think
side.
would be on the hot side, so it would indeed melt in the burger. But for some reason, my memory is going back. I don't know. Deep dive on that, please, Nick. All right. By the way, there are a couple of deals you can get on Cheeseburger Day, National Cheeseburger Day at Wendy's. Listen to this. You can get the Junior Bacon Cheeseburger, which, by the way, a lot of times I will get the Junior Burger there.
Agreed.
Because it's easier to eat in the car and it's filling enough. But it's 1 penny. Today is the 18th. Today through the 22nd.
What?
And if you go through the Wendy's app, you can take advantage of that. So 1 cent. At McDonald's,
all right, lay down.
This is a good one, too.
Lay some beef on me, baby.
Double cheeseburger for 50 cents.
What?
So you got to go through their mobile app. It's
Okay.
limited to 1 burger per customer, but you can do that today.
Okay.
Double cheese.
I love their double cheeseburgers.
I love their double cheese. Now,
I'll tell you what I love in your linear to your Junior. The Whopper Junior, double Whopper Junior, is the exact right size. Are you a Junior yourself, Case? Or were you
no. I like it big.
All right.
But my
throbbing.
I think as far as double cheeseburgers are concerned, my go-to, my favorite is Burger King.
Okay.
Just a plain double cheeseburger from Burger King.
Burger King has a deal.
Okay.
You can get a free cheeseburger, and it's to any members of the Royal Perks Rewards program who makes a purchase of $1 or more.
You have to be a member of the royalty.
If you're a member of the royal family, you get a free cheeseburger today.
The royal staff shall walk forward to receive their complimentary cheeseburger.
All right, we're looking at a picture of the McDLT. I don't see no cheese on there.
I
anywhere.
don't see no cheese either.
I think you could order it with cheese, perhaps, because I do remember it.
I'm not sure.
God, it's so dumb because it was once you put it together, you got what you got anyway. But it was just, it seemed to be.
No, it made sense, Steve, because they would keep the other burgers under a heat lamp. And if you would put all the other stuff on there and it sat for any amount of time, it would kind of wilt and be kind of gnarly, especially the tomato. So I did appreciate that by the time you bit into it, the lettuce was still crispy. And all that. By the way, Shake Shack is, that's where I would go today on that.
That's your jam?
Me personally.
Yeah, I probably have to go to Charlie's if I want to keep it local and go to a mom and pop shop. So, or maybe I'll just go to like 3 different places and really celebrate in grand fashion. Let me ask you guys something. What do you think, in your humble opinion, is the tastiest looking movie burger?
Well, the cheeseburger in the menu is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll go with you on that. It's most recent, and they do, especially because you're part of the preparation of it, and it also it serves an essential plot point. Yes, I'm going to go with the menu as well, Preston.
I have another one.
Okay.
Or do you want to say yours first?
No, because I got 2.
Okay, one of them, even though it's disgusting because it's supposed to be a human being
Oh my
that they're
God!
eating.
That's the one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Kingsman Part
Kingsman 2. Yeah.
Dude, it
The
looks
burger.
so
I remember
good.
that, yeah. When they're making the burger and everything.
Oh, my God.
It looks fantastic, but it's human flesh.
What about the cheeseburger in the 10 Commandments?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
That's an excellent.
Yeah, but that was goat, and you know.
So shall it be eaten, so shall it be eaten.
Not the same thing.
Now that is a good burger.
What else? What was your other
The
one?
Big Kahuna burger looks delicious.
All right. In Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Not bad.
You know, going back to Kingsman, the regular cheeseburgers that Samuel Jackson's eating, yeah.
McDonald's.
Yep.
Oh,
McDonald's, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's right. They have the Mickey D's. He has a two cheeseburgers with special sauce.
I love that you do these, though, because I probably celebrate more often than you would think.
No,
when
we know you
mention
do.
these. Yeah.
You're one of the only people I know of who actually embraces each of these celebratory days.
Yeah, because I celebrated National Chili Dog Day when you had mentioned that a few months ago.
Oh, that's right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. All right, hang on. Ted wants to mention something. Let's see if there's legitimacy to this or not. Hey, Ted, good morning.
Hey, Gadzookies, guys.
Gadzookies. What's up, buddy?
What's up, man? Just driving around Trenton on this crappy rainy day.
All right.
Oh, it's a dream of mine.
Yeah.
And I wrote this song.
All right, so what do you want to share about the burger, Ted?
Well, it was invented in New Jersey. I can't remember the guy's name, but basically it was like back in the 1920s. This guy would fry a bunch of meatballs on his skillet for lunch, but it was taking too damn long. So he got mad one day and just started smashing them all with his spatula. And he would flip them, and then they would be cooked like a quarter of the time it would take to roll around a meatball. And then he just started flattening them all, and he called it a hamburger.
We will look that up. We'll look that up and see if there's legitimacy.
I challenge you to find out otherwise.
All right.
Okay.
Challenge
I hate you. I hate you more than anything in this damn world.
You meatballs take too long.
All right. Fletcher Davis created an early version of the hamburger for his menu at a small cafe in Athens, Texas in the 1880s, but didn't debut his invention to a wider audience until he took his burger to the 1904 St. Louis World's Fair. To this day, some call Athens the birthplace of the hamburger.
So hamburger meat or chopped meat, it's got to have some origin to hamburger.
Ground beef?
Ground beef? Yeah. I mean, I won a coloring contest based on that whole premise, Preston.
So when we
my childhood was a lie.
We drove across the country last year, and we ended up stopping at that place in Kansas, Bobo's Drive-In, and I believe that was we stopped there because it was a diners, drive-ins, and dives, and everything was really, really good. But I was so disappointed in myself because I just assumed that I was ordering a cheeseburger, and I didn't, and it was a hamburger. And when I took my first bite into it, I was like, it is delicious, but it is missing a major, major component. And I didn't have the heart to tell them that it was, I kind of was like, oh, this is really, really great. But I really didn't think it was that great. You know?
I'm sorry, what are you talking about?
When we drove across, we went to Bobo's Drive-In in Kansas.
Oh, and it was supposed to be great. And
it was good, but like I just assumed that there's going to be cheese on the burger. And because I didn't order it.
Diane, I really need to talk with you right now. I was watching Diners, Drive-In, and I went here because the burger is supposed to be good, but something's missing. And I miss you so much.
But that would be where the people who have a real issue with calling it a cheeseburger or a hamburger.
Yeah. Oh, there's like
very specific about it.
Then you also kind of get into the smash burgers and everything, and then there's also loose meat, which is sort of a different thing. And a lot of times loose meat will basically just be the burger deconstructed with the cheese, sort of mixed in. Have you ever had that kind of sandwich? Yeah.
Sounds kind of sloppy Joe-ish.
It is without the sloppy Joe mix.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Interesting.
Preston, you know where hamburgers gain national recognition?
Woodstock.
Nope. Which city in the United States?
Well,
I'm asking Preston this.
St. Louis?
That's right.
The World's Fair?
Yeah.
No, there you go. How about that?
1904 St. Louis World's Fair.
St. Louis invented the aqueduct.
A lot of stuff came out of that fair. I think the ice cream cone.
What?
The Ferris wheel.
The Sibian?
The Sibian.
Everyone loves straddling this device. It's getting them off sexually, and they just can't get enough. Here's a hamburger for this young lady who just had 9 orgasms.
Even Charles Lindbergh was there.
Charles Lindbergh's taking a spin on the Sibian, and he's saying this was better than crossing the Atlantic.
Steve, one more time, can you just, for Bill, can you explain what a Sibian is?
Oh, my God.
It's a sexual device that you straddle and it massages where you think it would massage.
Bill didn't know what it was.
Can you go to Eric on line 1, please?
We had a Daily Rush video of the, it was the steam-powered Sibian.
Yes.
That Kyle did.
Did a great job.
Hang on a second. I want to go to Eric. Hi, Eric. Good morning.
Good morning to see it.
Good morning.
Good morning to see it.
What's up, Eric?
Yeah.
So I go to Wendy's, I get the Dave's double with the lettuce and all that. It's kind of messy. It slides around. So what I figured out is I get a packet of saltine crackers and I smash them and I sprinkle it on the burger and it keeps everything together. But the flavor of the saltine on the burger is unbelievable.
All right, so you're using it as a gripping material, mortar, to hold the burger together. That I'm intrigued by that, and I could see it adding a decent amount. I mean, after all, it's salted, so salt is going to add a little bit of flavor to it.
But when you make your burgers at home, do you use breadcrumbs?
Some people do. I don't.
I don't like
but
that.
You can, yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like it that. I will tell you this, though, Casey, and I think everyone here will agree. I know we've all, in our quieter moments, have discussed this. No. The structural integrity of a burger is important, paramount.
Oh, yeah.
You got to keep, like, if it's, we'll do the Burger Bowl. You and I are judges virtually every year, Casey. And you know that figures a lot into my, can you eat it as a burger intact? That's going to go a long way with me.
That's where places like In-N-Out and Smash Burger and a handful of others have kind of perfected it with that little kind of pocket they put it in. You know what I'm talking about?
I dig it. They're like just a simple little package, a half package.
Yep, it'll help it hold together.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about, stuff, a decent amount of toppings on burgers like that.
You ever put fries on a burger?
Not really. I mean, I have, yeah, but I'm not a big fan of it. I like fries with ketchup and I like that better. I know
the Dar had French fries on it.
Yeah. The Dar did. Yeah,
our sandwich that we designed
had fries or fried potato. Oh, yeah.
No, it's fries.
Okay.
The Dar.
The Dar.
We actually designed a sandwich that was on a menu for quite a while, and people loved it.
Yeah. So it's National Cheeseburger Day, and if you are so inclined, go get yourself a cheeseburger. And there's some places that are having like really, really good deals
you know
on
what?
it.
You could do a split thing here. You could have celebrate the day and do a sort of a tribute to Jimmy Buffett.
Cheeseburger in Paradise.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh man, what if he would have died on National Cheeseburger Day?
That would have been perfect.
He's only a few weeks off.
They should have lied about this.
You should have put him on
ice,
life support until this particular
They should have James Browned him.
Oh wow. Were you trying to play Jimmy Buffett?
No, I got that for you. Oh, well, I didn't want to hit the button without your
Here
permission.
you go. And there it is. You know what? I've never stopped to actually listen to the lyrics of this song. Will happen at like a charity event or something like that, and somebody's back there working the grill, and it's just a hockey puck.
Yeah,
it's the worst.
I hate it.
There was a place in media that we loved and used to go to all the time. We were at Y100 called On a Roll.
Yeah.
It's still there.
And so,
is it?
On a Roll.
Well, not there.
Same place.
Actually, the people who owned whatever. It's across. It's still on Orange Street, but it's across and closer to the courthouse.
All right, so
smaller.
They opened up when I was living, coming down from New York. They opened up a place up where we were living in New York in Massapequa called On a Roll. And I'm like, oh my God, this is even close to the place in media. It's going to be phenomenal. And I went in and I ordered a burger one time, a cheeseburger actually, one of the rare times. And the woman says, oh, we can't do cheese. Why? Because it falls through the grill. And I'm looking at it, I'm like,
oh my God.
Wait, what?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
What language are you speaking?
What does that mean?
I mean, do you know there's technology that exists that would allow you to keep the cheese? I don't even understand. If you put the cheese on the burger, talk to me, woman.
You're still baffled by this.
I'm baffled.
You can take the burger off and it's still warm and place the cheese
And then put the cheese on it.
And it will melt.
I'm like, what? You're an insane bitch.
Kathy,
what?
Where's your favorite burger?
So I rarely eat burgers, but I will get them every once in a while. Usually, if there's no chicken on the menu,
right,
then I'll get the burger. Oh my gosh, my favorite burger. I don't know. I can't even tell you the last time I had a burger.
Can you make up a place?
Actually, I can tell you the last time.
How about Flouncies?
Something with avocado on it. I don't know.
Wait, the last time you had a burger was what?
I said I couldn't tell you, and then I was like, actually, I can. It was at my brother's house. He had a barbecue.
Did he put an avocado on it?
He did not put it on.
Okay,
So-
I would not be happy with that.
At a barbecue, I will not have a burger if it's frozen. You know,
You won't eat a frozen burger?
No, I'm not a Bubba Burger guy. No, like after it's been
This is
cooked.
really hard.
No, I need to have fresh burgers.
We cook them at our house. So you can tell. Listen, I'll tell you this. We used to go get the crappiest cereal burgers, like the burgers that you get in school.
Yeah.
And if you get a box of those and cook them on a crappy barbecue on the beach, and to Nick's point, it still tasted good.
You could put. I mean, I could do a blind taste test. I could be like, no, this is a frozen burger.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hang on. I want to go to Deb next. Hi, Deb. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, what's up?
I was calling because I have never had a fast food hamburger.
Okay. What? You want to explain?
Just, I've never gone to McDonald's and had a burger or Burger King or any of those places. Never had a fast food burger, but I do like a hamburger. But if I go to a restaurant, I have nothing on it.
So I do that. I'll do that as well sometimes, Deb. I will get it absolutely bereft of everything. No mayonnaise, no nothing. Especially if you know it's going to be a good burger. Like if you get a burger at the Mashalou, they have this Kobe burger. It is sensational. And you can get that completely naked, as they say, and you would love it.
But Deb, you don't get cheese at all.
No cheese, no lettuce, no tomato. And when I place the order, one of my friends just covers his eyes because he's embarrassed that I never get anything on my burger. But then the waiter or waitress will say, so just a plain burger, just a patty and a bun. And I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with that.
Well, we can't do that because it falls to the grill.
Let me ask you this. Is it because you don't like the way the condiments taste at all, or you just don't think they should be on a burger?
I'm going to be honest. I kind of probably really haven't tried it. It just doesn't sound appealing.
You've never tried
it. You're going to need to, at one point, take it out for a spin, see what you think. I tell you what I used to do. I used to use salt all the time and put salt on my hamburgers. I haven't used salt in years because when you get a good hamburger,
all right,
it's excellent.
Deb's never had a burger, a fast food burger. Where should she go?
Rome.
Wendy's.
Yeah.
Fast food?
Yep. I say Wendy's.
I say Burger King.
Okay.
I get a double, but that's fast food. I mean, pound for pound, I think the best burger you're going to get as far as consistency is concerned is Five Guys.
But she's never had fast food burgers before. But that's fast casual.
Yeah,
Five Guys, same thing with
if it doesn't
Shake
have a
Shack.
drive-through, then it's not fast food.
You guys remember? I didn't have I never had a fast food burger before, and we had McDonald's, or somebody brought a McDonald's burger in for me to try.
I don't remember
This was
that.
years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
McDonald's used to like us.
Godspeed, Debbie, on your burger.
Yeah.
Your burger.
Let us know when your
journey.
burger cherries popped.
All right.
Somebody's telling me that On a Roll doesn't exist anymore.
Arnold?
On a roll.
Oh.
Arnold Roll doesn't exist anymore.
Arnold?
So,
yeah.
Case, I thought so. They actually opened up one in Conchie. Do you remember? It was.
Yes. Was that the same?
Steve,
Yeah.
They had that great grilled cheese fire.
Yeah,
and it
because
put
within
them
the
out of
grill,
business, yeah.
9 people died. It was like the Triangle Factory fire.
Hang on, let me go to Paul next. Hey, Paul.
Hey, how are you guys? Good morning.
Good morning. What's up, Paul?
So I took my son out for lunch one day, and he got a cheeseburger with a scrambled egg on top, not scrambled, sunny side up.
Right. So that's in Europe. You'll see that a lot. A lot of the default burgers have eggs on it.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
I never thought of that, but that was phenomenal.
And so you see, I'm not a fan.
I don't like it
I'd
either.
rather have just eggs or have burgers, but I don't want an burger.
Yeah.
Dude, it was really great. So on the other note, did anybody see maybe 2 weeks ago in the news, there was a lady showing how she boils hamburgers, like a hot dog.
She boils?
And they had Chef Ramsay chime in on it. It was the foulest, grossest looking thing I've ever seen.
Gross.
Boil? Well, you know what, though? Stop and think about it. In school, they would boil the burgers in water, right? You'd have those burgers, those cereal burgers. Yeah, we got crappy burgers.
I never saw that till they showed it on the news. It was gray. It was falling apart.
And it's like nostalgic what you're saying. Yeah.
A new one.
Yeah,
Oh,
wow.
my God, it was horrible.
They were horrible.
All right, thanks, man. You know what? Maybe they did it when I was in school. I don't know. I remember the burgers being pretty damn lame.
Big tray of burgers in water.
Huh.
And so maybe they came freeze dry, however the hell they came in these boxes, and the burgers would be in that.
Okay. Wow.
And it was, well, listen.
You got ripped off.
It's like cafeteria pizza. It's terrible, and yet you love it.
Yeah. I did like
Yeah.
it. The only thing I hated was our pizza rolls. They sucked.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were giant. They were like the size of a burrito.
The hell are you doing over
What are
there?
you doing to me? Trying to kill me?
Cheesesteaks were, they were weird but delicious. They didn't chop them up. It was basically like
That should be a slogan. Weird but delicious.
It was weird but delicious. But it was the cheesesteak, like essentially like a steak-'em, and then they put the cheese in the middle, and then they rolled it up, and it was delicious.
Hang on here. We only have time for another caller show. I'm going to go to Brandon. Hi, Brandon. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Sorry to bother you at work.
We want to hear about it. It's National Cheeseburger Day. What's your question?
I wanted to know where the best cheeseburger to get is because I've never had a burger, period.
You have never had a hamburger in your entire life.
Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing to admit on the air, but I grew up eating nothing but like French fries and like chicken nuggets my whole life.
Brandon, may I ask how old you are?
I'm 30, about to be 31 tomorrow.
Okay, so
happy
that's
birthday.
happy birthday. So, all right, Case.
Well,
since you are clearly the fast food expert here, which place should he go to?
Well, where do you live, Brandon? What town?
I'm in Northeast Philly.
Okay, I'm honestly go to Five Guys if you want like a consistently great burger. Go to Five Guys. Now, if you want a double, you just ask for the burger. But if you just want a single cheeseburger, you have to ask for the little burger.
Casey,
yes.
Casey, you know what's so funny is I've gone there so many times before because the fries are like the best thing ever.
Fries are excellent.
Give you a bag of them, yeah.
Yep.
But the whole thing, I've been there with people, and I would order, and it would be so embarrassing to them because I would it's Five Guys burgers and fries, and I wouldn't get a burger.
And you should go for it, Brandon, and start easy. Just get kind of like just cheese and meat on the bun and try it that way before you go messing around with, pickles and lettuce and onion and all that.
It's okay, baby.
All right, I'll have to empty out my life savings to get that cheeseburger from Five Guys.
Well,
it's not
let
that
us know
expensive.
what you think after you have it.
I think Five Guys is a good suggestion, Casey. I personally like Shake Shack a little better, but Five Guys makes a great burger. That's a
Pretty
good spot to
consistent.
go.
You know what I like?
Thanks, Brandon.
When
Good
I
luck.
go to Five Guys, it's the only time I ever get my burger like this, but I get a mushroom cheeseburger with A1 sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's delicious.
I could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Most definitely. Is it you normally don't get the A1 or you normally don't get mushroom cheese?
Doesn't get the burger.
No, the mushrooms and the A1.
It's an A1 sandwich.
The mushrooms and the A1 I don't get anywhere else except for there.
It's always cool to see that the fact the guys behind the counter have their beards and they have beer hairnets.
It's
awesome.
Yeah, I know.
I love that.
All right, one more call. That's all we have time for. So we are going to go to Rob. Hey, Rob, good morning.
Great day in the morning.
Great day in the morning. Rob, you're not calling about a cheeseburger, are you?
No.
Why are you calling?
I'm calling about 1,000 cheeseburgers.
He just won $1,000 with Crumb Bum Cash. How about that, Rob? All right, my man, where are you from, Rob?
Man, from the MMRBQ to Monday morning $1,000, man, you guys rock.
Oh, listen to this.
Awesome.
Rob, what's your last name, buddy?
Tiger.
Rob Iger?
Bob Iger from Disney?
Rob Geiger.
Oh, Tiger, thank you. And where are you from, Rob?
Carney's Point.
All right, dude, do me a favor. Go to the finest cheeseburger joint in the area today and enjoy it, roll in it, and you got $1,000.
Rub it on your
I'm going to Rome.
There you go, Rob. Have a Roman burger.
I'm not kidding. I'm going to Rome next Monday.
Oh, really?
This is the most symmetrical day we've ever had.
Barbecue, burger, and Rome.
Yeah, the three things that we've talked about so far. Oh, my
Excellent.
God.
Hey, Rob, we're really happy to give you $1,000 courtesy of Horizon Services, Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, and MMR. All right, buddy?
Yeah, man. Thanks, guys.
Have
a good one, man.
Congratulations.
From me.
There goes Rob.
You're going to have a hell of a story on that one.
$1,000 richer. And guess what? We are 20 minutes away from doing it again.
It's incredible.
Again, we do it 5 times every single day starting today. So it's called Crumb Bum Cash. We'll take a break. We'll come back in a second. We'll get to the B file. And hopefully by the time we're done with that, we will be ready to reveal what the next keyword is and how you enter that. And maybe you'll be just like Rob, winning $1,000, going to Rome and stuff, getting cheeseburgers. We'll be back in a second. Stay with us. It just means that he's nervous and as nervous as you are.
That is so true.
And
that's what Rubber Johnny taught me.
It says ditto if he finishes too soon or takes too long. All right. Number 4. It says be active.
Be active.
It says sex is tiring. It's unfair to leave him to make all the effort. It's also patronizing, insinuating that simply allowing him to have sex with you should be enough of a turn on.
When it's done right, it should be awkward and something you eventually tell your therapist.
Right. No. It says, don't be a dead starfish. Get active. Get on top
Be a blowfish.
and ride. Grab what you want and don't be shy. Put his hands where you want them. Give direction and feedback. Tell him what to do and what you like. That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I think, personally.
I don't want to put my hands in your butt.
Yes. And then here's the one that we agree on.
Okay.
Men and women.
All right.
Give great oral.
There we go.
That's what it
Both
says.
parties. How about
And there you go.
And we have that.
There's a scene at the end of the movie. It's an outtake where she's and God, she's awesome. What's her name again?
Lynn Shay.
Lynn Shay,
Yeah.
and she's awesome. We've had her in the studio, and she's in the Insidious movies, and she's great. But she's it's her sitting in the back of the vehicle that they're driving in. He just sort of has this image of her always haunting him. And Preston, she's doing that for about 6 minutes while they're getting this footage to incorporate into the scene. And she's going,
oh my God. Oh my God.
It's hilarious.
All right, number 6 on this list. The guys want women to do the first time that they are naked in bed. Let us know that you're enjoying it. It
This
says,
is so great. It really is. I didn't want to have wine and watch White Lotus.
It says, moaning loudly and pretending you like everything he does is embarrassing for both of you, but you do need to give feedback, and lots of women don't do that.
That's right. That's appropriate, right?
Yes.
You're letting the woman know you enjoy it.
No. This is, hold on. This is men wanting women to do this. This is from the men's perspective, okay? It says, a genuine moan or groan of pleasure, a whispered, that feels great.
That's great.
This is what's so terrible.
A whispered, I'll say that again, a whispered, that feels great. Excuse me.
Sorry, I had cauliflower.
Sorry.
I'm sorry I had Brussels sprouts.
I had salad balls.
Salad balls. They're little fart bombs.
Is that
back or front?
That's what Jackie Bam Bam calls Brussels sprouts. Salad balls. But it says, a whispered, that feels great.
I don't like that at all.
We all... Stop doing that.
Should I call you an Uber?
It says, we all thrive on positive feedback, and never is that more needed than the first time when you sleep with someone. And never is that more, the very first time you sleep with someone.
Have you ever had sex with a human?
All right, and then one last tip from guys to women.
Yeah.
It says, park the post-sex anxiety. It says, women often feel anxious and vulnerable after they sleep with someone for the first time. If it was sex for sex sake, the old was that slutty vibe can kick in. And if you really like them, you want to know if you or your body lived up to expectations and that it's more than just sex for him. It's fine to ask for reassurance, far preferable than assuming the worst and getting all prickly and defensive. Another post-coital glow destroyer, snuggling in and fast-forwarding the relationship before it's even started.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yep.
All right, it's time for your exit interview.
The more relaxed you are about the whole thing, the more smitten he'll be, according to
I
this.
think that makes sense. Yeah.
Kathy, have you completely checked out of this conversation?
No, I'm listening.
Okay, all right. Be affectionate and shoot a few meaningful looks so that he knows that it meant something.
It meant nothing.
But resist hanging onto his legs as he makes for the front door.
Yeah, I think that would, in anything, it's probably bad to hang onto someone's legs.
Don't get too clingy. So those are the two perspectives of things that it's, according to this article, that people wish they would do the first time that their partner.
If you were to distill it down to one word, what would you say? Of
One
all
word?
Yeah. Relax.
Yeah, or communicate.
Yeah.
I think that's part of it too.
Blumpkin?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
But I think communicating is key, and it can be uncomfortable at first, but once you openly talk about things, I think that's it opens up a whole new world.
It doesn't have to be spoken. You can do semaphore, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Get at the edge of the bed with your flags.
Yeah.
Hey,
sign language.
Press, you and your wife have probably done it thousands of times.
Maybe.
Do you happen to have in your
video?
mind, and no. Well, I'm trying to finesse this out of him, Steve, so you can't just jump right into that. Do you happen to have a maybe a favorite one that you think might have been the best one you guys ever had?
In that journal? When you were watching them do it, which was your favorite?
I thought it. Well, what I thought when I was watching, I was like, if this is how they always do it, like, I just want to alwage here and watch. Like, do
you happen to have one?
I have a couple in my mind.
There was one. We took a vacation to St. St. Thomas,
John or
St. John.
Mm-hmm.
So we were St. John, and we were with our friends, the Chapmans, and we had these separate condos that were wonderful. And we tried to break like our sex record,
right?
Over the course of like
you
3
told us
days.
this not that long ago. You talked about it.
I did. Okay, so and Rochelle's nickname became Montana because she wanted to do it 49 times.
And how long?
That would hurt.
Like 3 days. It was a joke.
Oh, okay.
So her nickname became Montana because we tried to have
That's
49 or so. I thought it was fun. But that I just remembered that we enjoyed it so much, and it was a lot of fun that stands out.
That's cool.
It's like that's in Step Brothers, where he's talking about a summer of humping. I had to ice my balls.
What about you? Name one of yours.
My favorite was on our wedding night when we made love for the first time.
Shut up.
Yeah, that was.
I was like, I'm thinking, really? Wow. That was nice.
At the beginning
His mom might be
of the
listening.
relationship, when you're basically an Olympic gymnast, and, and it's like, and those are wonderful times, and then before you know it, you're in a studio with the stuff falling off the wall.
Right. Exactly. Anybody else want to add their favorite? Do you have favorites that stand out?
I'm not answering that.
God.
I don't want to. You're making me feel
There was
uncomfortable.
one time when he brought a macaque into the room. That was interesting.
Hey, John. Preston's making me feel uncomfortable.
Facilities.
Yes. HR facilities are coming together.
All right. I thought this would just be a fun little combo to have, and if we weren't careful, we learned something.
Didn't even mention Benadryl.
Case, we got to get you on one of those water jet packs.
Oh my God, I would love that.
We've got to get you on that. So I know they do.
Where's
have
the closest one?
They've got them down there somewhere.
AC they do.
We talked about it last year or the year before, and people said that they are available in certain spots. Very, very expensive to rent. But
Are they?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I don't know if that's the case or
Maybe
not.
we get a knockoff one.
A knockoff jetpack. But I personally would love to go on one of those things. But I'm dying to see you on one.
You see the dudes who are able to flip down and go underwater and dive it down and come back up?
Since they've had those out now for several years, there's people that have mastered them, and they can do all kinds of spinny, wild, crazy things in the air and then dive down in and back up.
I'm afraid that I would jetpack myself right down into the water and not be able to right myself, and then just
go down to the bottom and stay there.
Yes, just continue to thrust myself.
We're watching video footage. They now have them where you can strap them on your feet.
Yeah. It's basically just a board.
That's crazy. That's absolutely insane. I wouldn't do that one. I would not do that one.
Killed on these.
Casey, who would be more?
Just screaming down to the ocean floor.
Where's Daddy? Any kids? Anybody see Daddy?
William Shatner and his ex-wife Elizabeth are dividing up everything in their estate, from dogs to land to ashes of exes to horse semen.
Wow.
TMZ reports.
Okay, yeah, because he
loves it.
He's a breeder.
Yeah.
He loves
He puts it in his cereal.
Love horse semen.
I tell you, I love it in my cereal. It's so thick and creamy.
There's just something about waking up to horse jizz.
Oh my God.
Elizabeth.
Spock, what's this in your coffee cup?
Elizabeth gets 2 horses. William gets all the dogs, 2 horses, and all of the horse semen. He gets
Who gets the jig Geo?
He gets all of the horse semen and equipment, the horse semen equipment.
He gets all the dogs?
He gets all the dogs, yeah.
Seems unfair.
Semen?
It's horse semen in my big, piping hot mug of coffee.
And these are per the papers obtained by TMZ. Elizabeth gets...
Yes, I'd like a bear claw and a coffee with horse semen. You don't have horse semen? You don't know how delicious it is in a cup of coffee?
So Elizabeth, gets a Malibu and a Versailles, Kentucky home. By the way, in Kentucky, it's pronounced Versailles, not Versailles. Plus her family farm in Indiana, while he gets a ranch and their Studio City home.
But I got the semen, correct?
He gets all the semen. Their agreement also spelled out animal visitation rights because they don't have children. So
Preston, you know what I love to do? I love to drink horse semen through a crazy straw.
Crazy straw.
Through a crazy straw. It looks wild.
Yeah, I can imagine. Wow. Bill Cosby changed up his legal team again.
Why?
Pennsylvania-based.
That one didn't work.
Yeah.
What do you mean? He's already in jail.
I'm in jail, Lloyd. I'm incarcerated.
Bill Cosby as Mr. Cord.
For dizzle anything.
Oh
my
for dizzle
God.
anything. Instead of saying anything. For dizzle anything.
I'm incarcerated, Lloyd.
He's holding up the boombox and the Cosby Show's like.
Oh my God.
There is a puffy black man on the front lawn with a boombox.
Oh, dear Lord. All right, so yes, he's incarcerated. And the Pennsylvania-based attorney Joseph Green Jr., who represented Mr. Cosby during sentencing, filed court papers Friday to have himself withdrawn from the case. Before we do the bizarre file, I should play that piece of audio.
Okay. It's real short.
It's very, very quick. It's not an audio illusion or anything like that. But we don't know where this is. Graduation ceremony. It looks like a college graduation
It was
ceremony.
college graduation.
And as you walk up, this is your moment. This is your family is there. It's your time to shine. You get your name said with the thousands of people in attendance. You walk across the stage. You grab your diploma that you've worked so hard for.
And paid a lot for.
Paid a lot for. This is the culmination.
And as you're walking, they announce your name.
Julie Jerkoff. Forgive me, Kirkhoff.
What? Are you serious?
Yes.
This is legit.
Julie
Too legit to quit.
Wait, one more time. One more time. Quiet, everyone, please. It's her moment.
Yeah.
Julie Jerkoff. Forgive me, Kirkhoff.
Oh, my God.
Forgive me.
Julie Jerkoff. Forgive me, Julie Handjob. Forgive me, Julie Handy. Forgive me, Julie Blumpkin. Forgive me, Julie Dirty Sanchez. Oh, my God.
Julie Jerkoff. Forgive me, Kirkhoff.
Oh.
Wow.
You know what, though? That's better than just having your name read that most people are missing anyway.
You know she was called Jerkoff throughout all her life.
It had to have been a nickname at some point, or friends.
Julie Jerkoff.
Yeah.
Or Julie Jerkoff. Forgive me, Kirkhoff.
If you think about
Julie Oh, my God. I can't believe I said that.
Or that professor won a nice bet.
Yeah.
Said she would do it. And
Julie Salad Tosser. Oh, it's not even close.
If you think about it, in high school, she probably had Jerkoff as a, I wouldn't even say a nickname. You know, they made fun of her.
Maybe even her friends would call her that because it's such an obvious. But
And then she gets to college where everybody matures a little bit and she loses the Jerkoff for a couple of years.
It's
and
clear.
then boom.
Kirkhoff is I mean, you can come into that Kirkhoff.
Dude, she's getting her master's degree. It's a Master of Science degree as she goes up and hears
Julie Jerkoff. Forgive me, Kirkhoff.
WMMR.
Thank you, Kathy. Friend, if you stay with us for the next 4 minutes, you just might win $1,000.
93.3
We need to do the bizarre file first.
That's right.
We're going to switch those up.
Scared by that.
If you stay with us for the next 4 minutes, you might win $1,000.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
It's brought to you by CSB Media Arts Center in Cherry Hill, home to the Connecticut School of Broadcasting's broadcast media program and more. Find out more at gocsb.com. All right, this is messed up. A baby's arm may have been broken after two allegedly half-naked and drunk women were seen tossing the child back and forth over hard concrete as they stood outside of Coyote Ugly Bar in Daytona Beach, Florida.
So they're playing catch the baby?
Yeah, essentially.
Running bases?
Police said the young women, Brianna LaFoe, who was 19, and Sierra Newell, who was 20, were under the influence as they abused the child and treated him like a toy. Newell and LaFoe were also accused of flipping the child upside down, throwing him into the air, shaking him, and tossing him back and forth to each other as they stood roughly 4 feet apart on hard pavement. A witness recorded the abusive display. LaFoe went to stop a person recording while grabbing the child by his leg. At this point, LaFoe allegedly flipped the boy upside down and grabbed him by his ankles. Newell, who was on crutches, police reported was busy accosting other bystanders before she too started to zero in on the witness.
How sociopathic.
Newell allegedly used one of her crutches to hit the person twice. In the video footage, people can be heard yelling at the woman to stop, throwing the baby in the air, and one witness, Jahada Rashid, said she saw LaFoe grabbing the baby while she was actively fighting with people telling her to stop. The baby was taken to the hospital. Healthcare providers reportedly found red marks on his back and a suspected break in the child's arm. Newell and LaFoe were charged with felony child abuse.
Good.
So they are facing some pretty heavy charges there. And so they should. All right, this is a pretty weird story. Donning a wetsuit, fins with a crossbow pistol strapped to his back, Jeremy Wallace went for an ambitious swim that ended in federal charges and 2 Michigan schools being locked down after he plunged into a river dividing the U.S. and Canada, swam across it, and then walked 16 miles into town to find the nearest pawn shop where he could steal a gun.
What?
Yeah. Wallace,
That's a good plan.
24-year-old resident of Sombra, Ontario, told police he swam across the St. Clair River into East China Township, Michigan around midnight because he was not eligible to purchase a gun in Canada due to a prior conviction involving weapons there.
I got a plan.
He told police he intended to swim back to Canada with the firearm once he stole it. Wallace also admitted to ditching his wetsuit after a few miles because he began to overheat as he was off on foot for the 16-mile walk.
It's harder than I thought.
The Canadian man told authorities he had done his research on the store the night before.
Clearly.
He had also brought a hammer with him on the swim in case he needed to break into the store. But things did not quite go according to plan. Once Wallace got to the pawn shop, employees thought that he was acting strange and refused to sell him the weapon. Wallace then allegedly grabbed a .22 caliber Sig Sauer pistol and 2 clips and fled the store. The store owners contacted the sheriff's office. Thanks to a rapid response, Wallace was located in a wooded area after a foot chase before he could slip back across the St. Clair River. The river averages about a mile wide in most spots.
Wow.
And temperatures can hover from the 60s to 70s. They found that the crossbow pistol he had strapped on his back contained 9 rounds of ammunition. He also loaded the stolen handgun at this point, too. So he really wanted that gun.
I really
bad.
need this.
All right, we only have time for one more story, and then we got to do Crumb Bum Cash. Let's go with this one. A woman had an unfortunate mix-up when she wanted to take her vitamins, only realized she had actually swallowed one of her AirPods by mistake.
Oh, my God.
Tana Barker explained how she managed the mishap. In a viral clip, she said, I'm going to be very vulnerable right now. I had a situation happening this morning, and I'm still dealing with it. And so this morning I was on a walk. I ran into a friend of mine, and I hadn't seen her for a year. She was filling me in on her life. It's been a very, very busy and full life, and a lot went on, actually. Halfway through the walk, though, I decided to take my vitamins. I put my vitamins in, took a drink, and I was like, man, those are stuck. Not realizing that it wasn't vitamins she had taken. She said, so I guzzled my water, kept on going, and I went by Kathleen, and I went to go get my AirPod, and my pills were in my hand. I had swallowed my AirPod. So I now have called a lot of people, doctors and friends of mine, and they all suggest the same thing. So I'm going to go with what they suggested, and that is
poop it out.
Just let it pass.
Yeah.
Though Tana did note that she at least didn't swallow both of the earbuds. She said there's a bonus. I still have my right AirPod. So she's going to have to let that pass and move on.
You got to just get rid of that iPad.
And that is what I have in the bizarre file for you. Now we're ready to do this.
93.3 WMMR, Philadelphia.
You're a real crumb bum.
It's time for a crumb bum cash keyword.
All right. The word that you need to send to us is crazy. C-R-A-Z-Y. We'll give you until 15 minutes after the hour to do it. And there are 3 ways for you to enter the word crazy. You can do it through WMMR.com or the MMR app, or you can text it to their special contest short code text number, which is 45911. And one random entry wins $1,000 in our company-wide contest. Each winner gets a call from our company, Beasley. Make sure that you answer your phone. Contest rules at WMMR.com, and it is sponsored by Horizon Services. So again, the word is crazy. 15 minutes after the hour. To get that to us, WMMR.com, the MMR app, or text it to 45911. We will take a break, see if we get a winner. We're going to come back in a moment, and we'll give some more stuff away. We have the lesson question, trash and music news when we return.
Well, and she doesn't, if this is the actual video that we're watching, she doesn't even flinch, the girl, Julie.
You know what? When they're doing it,
you
couldn't even hear.
You're so excited, and you're just your focus is walk forward, shake hand, take diploma, walk off. Jerk off.
Jerk off.
Julie,
jerk off. Forgive me, Kirkhoff.
Well,
you did very well, Miss Jerkoff.
And she sounds so sweet. The
I know.
woman reading the names.
Please come up to the microphone, Julie Jerkoff, and tell everyone how you achieved your success.
Forgive me.
It's the jerk-off way, I think, that we can all emulate.
Oh, my God.
But there's countless names like that are being butchered in similar ceremonies going on. In fact, this very weekend, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
There'll be mangled names.
Yep, loads of them. You realize anytime we have a caller named Julie, we will have to play.
Julie Jerkoff.
It's awesome.
It's the best.
It made my day yesterday when Casey sent that to me.
So, on that one level, is it sort of cool that you have, since she's probably dealt with it her whole life, at least she has a meme now that's attached to her.
Let's see. We have a caller on the line real quick, and I'm going to go to this caller. Hi, caller. Good morning. What's your name?
My name is Julie.
Julie Jerkoff.
Thank you, Julie.
Our first Julie Jerkoff.
You're our first to be given the Julie Jerkoff Award.
In Ireland, a radio DJ died in the middle of his morning show, the station said. Yeah. Tim Goff was his name, 55 years old, was an hour into his broadcast when the music stopped halfway through a song. The music resumed a few minutes later, but the presenter did not return to his show. The broadcaster, Gen X Radio Suffolk, later confirmed that Tim sadly died. He was 55 years old, and the rest of the story was about people offering their condolences, so I don't know what happened.
It wasn't part of their cash cadaver promotion, was it?
I don't think it was. Don't think it was, Steve.
Now, one of us is going to die during the day. And we're going to die on air. When we do, call in.
Steve.
You've won cash cadaver.
Dude.
That's not funny. Although he probably would get a kick out of this.
No, that's just, it was his time, and it's horrific. You remember I passed out
Are you
on
saying
air.
he would have enjoyed that bit?
I don't know. Would any of us have enjoyed it?
Probably.
I think so.
Probably.
If I ever die on air while I'm here with you guys and you want to do a cash contest surrounding that,
okay.
Will you be our cash cadaver?
Totally.
All right.
We're allowed? Okay.
Yeah.
I want you guys sobbing. I'm gone.
Steve, I love the voice. So Dracula comes
Be the
on.
11th caller, and you'll be cash cadaver.
Oh, my God.
He didn't sound strong when he cracked the mic today. I just knew it was going to happen.
Oh, that's the actuarial.
Yeah.
That's the actuality from the
I was
winner.
waiting by my phone, and when he started coughing, I knew it was time.
This is horrible. This is terrible. That poor guy.
He just sounded weak.
That's what I knew to call.
I knew. I stayed right by the phone.
Dude. Oh, my God. To our own kind.
I know. We're horrible.
Our own kind.
Well, they shouldn't have set up the contest.
Yeah, you're right.
What is this stupid contest?
Be the 14th caller.
You're the 11th caller for Cash Cadaver.
Oh, man.
That poor rest in peace.
Totally,
Oh,
man.
my God.
It's just beyond. It's beyond the pale.
I'm not going to be able to stop thinking about that.
All right, we got a text that it should have been called the Morning Show. MOURN.
Ah, yeah.
No. We're very excited to welcome once again Mr. Chevy Chase. Chevy, thank you for coming on.
Chevy Chase. I've never heard a voice that low in my life.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate the
Yes.
compliment.
Yes, who is this, please?
That's Preston, who has the low voice, and I'm the bald guy, if you can see us. So I'm Steve.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Are you the guy with the voice?
No, Preston.
I think I'm the guy with the voice.
That was very good. I loved it.
Thank you. Hey, Chevy.
Hi, guys. Nice to see you.
It's
Nice to
wonderful
see
to
you.
have you on. I needed to ask, you 39 years ago, you guys made the film National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, and when you think back to that time when you were filming it, did you know that you had something extra special in that film and that people would still be loving it today? Because I've already watched it 3 times in the past couple of weeks.
No, I didn't like it. But no, of course. Let me just say this. When I make movies, I hope that people will like it, but you don't know, really. In fact, I've been doing recently some appearances, such as the one I'll be doing in Atlantic City at Tropicana, where I'm with an actual audience of, I don't know, a few thousand people or whatever. And until that time, I've never seen my audience. Basically, you make a movie and you never know anything. Once I snuck into a theater with Dustin Hoffman when we did a movie. I just snuck in and stayed in the back to see if they'd laugh.
Right.
But I mean, really, it's the same thing with Dustin or anybody. It's just we don't know.
Well, you know what? It's become a holiday classic, and it deserves that. But I also think, in a way, it might National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation might get short shrift on the emotional level because it resonates on so many of those levels as well. I remember years ago when I was a kid, my dad was sweating out a Christmas bonus check. And so that all of that, and I think it's captured beautifully in the movie in the attic scene where and I well up at that scene. That is a beautiful scene. How did that come together?
Oh, that's funny you should ask that. Well, it's not that funny, but we were in Breckenridge, Colorado on a ski slope shooting the very first scene in the movie where I'm going down the hill, and which you'll notice and see if you watch it. But it suddenly a blizzard hit us, and we were supposed to go back to L.A. and start shooting, and we ended up having to stay there. So the bed and breakfast that we were in had an attic. And we thought, well, let's try out their attic, which we did. That's where we shot it.
Wow.
In their attic. And I was happy to find, a couple of boards I could stand on that would hit me in the back of the head and in the front of the head and, whatnot.
Yeah.
So that's how we did it. And then at the end of that scene, might be interesting for those who watch it, I look out a window outside and see my family either arriving or driving away or something. That was shot in L.A. because if I looked out that window in Breckenridge, I would just see other houses and naked people. No, I lied.
No, but Steve's right. And I watched this movie the first time I was a teenager, and now I'm a father and I have 3 kids, and so the movie kind of on a few different times hits differently now as a father. and somebody who prepares to make sure that Christmas morning is as magical for my kids as it was for me. So yeah, that one scene in particular is
it's great.
But I always get surprised that when I can laugh at the same joke over and over again. And Chevy, the scene with you and the lady at the lingerie counter, it does not. Every single time I watch it, I'm like, I cannot believe that I'm like legit laughing out loud at the same joke over and over again. And when she says, "Can I take something out for you?" and you just start laughing, I laugh along with you. And
I know. I'm not going to say it on the air here, but
thank you.
No, I love that part. And then you can't see the line, can you, Russ?
Is it lost on you at all that, and I don't, you have to be aware of this, that people quote you all the time? Like, I can't go play around the golf without using one of your lines from Caddyshack.
Fletch, everything, yeah.
Christmas time, there's always, Fletch. I have 2 Fletch sound clips that I play. You can hear these. Hey! And this one, I use those clips all the time, and it's just these little subtle things. Is it lost on you that you're part of people's everyday vernacular?
No. Well, it's lost on me, and that nobody tells me this except
us,
a sad guy like you.
Now I'm happy.
Honestly, I suppose I make those movies just for that reason. I'm different than other people who are quote comedians, and I say what maybe my dad would have thought was funny, that kind of thing. So I'm amazed at people's reactions, and I love it because he made me laugh a lot. So there you are.
No, that makes sense. There's a wonderful, and I just in research for talking to you, I checked out, did some reading and watched a video. There was a video of you with your daughter and your wife watching. This is a couple of years ago. You're watching
Everything That Rocks Once in a Lifetime. 13 minutes after 10. Fortunately, the MMRBQ doesn't happen once in a lifetime. It happens every single year. And if you missed out on it this year, we welcome you back next year. I'm sure we'll have bigger and better and amazing things planned for you. We'll touch on a little bit more of that stuff in a little while. But we have some things to give away and stuff to talk about otherwise. We have a lesson question, and we are going to give away this morning a VIP 4-pack of tickets for Lincoln Mill Haunted House, and that is this Saturday.
Oh, cool.
All right, so it's at 4100 Main Street in Manioc. The question that I will ask you is, the hamburger gained national recognition at the 1904 St. Louis World's Fair. Which other invention has its origins at the same event? And it's not the ice cream cone.
No.
Or the Ferris wheel. It was a different, more fun one. All right, the hamburger gained national recognition in the 1904 St. Louis World's Fair. Which other invention has its origins at the same event? 215-263-WMMR. As you call, we'll do this.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you by CSB Media Arts Center in Cherry Hill, home to the Connecticut School of Broadcasting's broadcast media program and more. And you can find out more at GoCSB.com. What do you have for us today, Steve?
Well, Bill Belichick and his wife Linda Holliday have broken up after 16 years together. Holliday revealed that she had finally grown tired of Belichick's underinflated balls.
Oh.
Hey!
You spoke about this earlier, Preston. Lamar Odom reportedly crashed his Mercedes into 2 parked cars in an early morning accident near his home. Odom's blood alcohol level was normal, but it did show 8.8% horny goat weed. And finally, while El Chapo serves out his life sentence, his wife, Emma, has been released from prison after serving just 2 years. El Chapo has given Emma his permission to date other men, but says she shouldn't get too comfortable with them having heads. And that's your Hollywood Trash.
All righty, we will search and see if we can find someone who has the answer to this question. The hamburger gained national recognition at the 1904 St. Louis World's Fair. Which other invention had its origins at that same event? And we will go to Sammy looking for an answer. Hi, Sammy. Good morning.
How can she slap?
How can she slap? All right, Sammy. What other invention was debuted at the World's Fair?
Was it the Sibian?
The Sibian. That is correct, Sammy. Hang on the line. We are going to give you a VIP 4-pack of tickets for Lincoln Mill Haunted House this Saturday, September 23rd, located at 4100 Main Street, Manayunk, featuring over 50 live scare actors, production quality sets, props, animatronics, and special effects. Tickets and info at LincolnMillHaunt.com.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Good boy. Got our disco lights on there for a moment. All right, music news brought to you by Horizon Services. From clogged toilets to dripping faucets, Horizon Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing. Plumbing professionals are there when you need them. Plus, you can save 20% off of your next plumbing service. Visit horizonservices.com. Let's see. Korn will be releasing new music next year. Guitarist Brian Head Welch revealed the news during a podcast and said, yep, we are just kind of in hiding right now, just doing our own thing. They went on to say that there will likely be a celebration of the 30th anniversary of the band's debut album. 8 years after leaving, Welch rejoined Korn in 2013 after he kicked his addictions to drug and alcohol. Korn's latest album, Requiem, came about a year and a half ago and charted #1 on the Billboard Hard Rock Albums chart. Ann Wilson of Heart announced that she and her band Tripster are going to release an album on September 29th.
Tripster!
Yeah, through a press release, she said, this is an exciting time in my creative life. So much new and fresh to remind me of why I love my calling. Another Door is a record of all original material, which marks the first time since the 70s that she has written a full-length album collectively with the band. And it also marks the first time in her career that she is the sole lyricist.
When are her and her sister going to go back out?
It's a good question. Don't know. They seem to have mend fences.
Seems that way.
Maybe they'll plan a Heart thing down the road. And then finally, Guns N' Roses added some more dates to their North American tour. Now includes stops in Edmonton, Alberta, Salt Lake City, Denver, Nampa.
Nampa?
N-A-M-P-A.
It's the new Tampa?
It might be Tampa.
Yeah.
No, it's Nampa, Idaho.
Nampa, Idaho?
Nampa?
That's not in Florida.
Never figured that out. I never heard of that
Never
before.
heard of Nampa.
Oh, it's North Tampa in Idaho.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Way north and west Tampa.
Nampa.
In Idaho.
That's what I call my grandma.
So there's some more dates from those guys. You know what? Can I play a couple of clips from MMRBQ?
Yes.
Do it.
We had a few. We played Larkin Poe earlier, and I can play that one again. But we had a few thank yous on stage from the artist of MMRBQ. Here is a clip of Larkin Poe that we played earlier.
Here's one that we have been so grateful to WMMR for spending a lot for us. This is off of an older record for us, but we love this song a lot. It's called Holy Ghost Fire.
All right, so that was nice. Who's next, Case?
I'll just go.
Tiger Cub.
Yeah.
Tiger Cub.
They gave a shout out to MMR. Here we go.
New Jersey! It's the MMRBQ.
Pretty great to be here. Thank you so much.
Finger 11 gave us a couple of different charts.
Okay. They gave us charts?
Nah.
Really?
Okay. All right, here we go.
Thank you very much. How's it going, everybody? We're Finger 11. Really nice to be here at the WMMRBQ. Thanks for being here.
Nice guys. All right, there's another one from them.
I love whoever came up with MMRBQ.
I know.
That person deserves a raise.
This is from the interview.
Yeah, there you go.
It's great.
It was yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah? Perfect, man.
That was Chuck, right?
I thought so.
Yeah, Chuck's the one who came up with MMRBQ. All right, and then Dirty Honey mentioned on stage.
Philly, can we do a couple more for you tonight? Now, WMMR's been playing the hell out of this next one. This is our next single off the new record. It's coming out one more time on November 3rd. This one's called Won't Take Me Alive. Come on!
Super nice guys in that band.
Terrific.
Man.
All cool.
Most definitely. I'm sure we'll have more audio.
Do you have the rye bread throwing out?
Oh, no. But we do have Shinedown. Shinedown
okay.
have a huge love.
I didn't know we had that. Here we go.
It's so wonderful to have you back. You know, Philly loves you.
What's that?
This is from the interview with
You know, MMR loves you. Brent and Zach from Shinedown.
The feeling is mutual, by the way.
Well, it's a great friendship that we've had over these many years, and we look forward to it continuing as the days go forward. Thank you.
Thank you. We love you guys and girls very much. Thank you for everything.
You know me, I don't be showing up for interviews, but with you guys, I'm here.
Thank you.
Brent and Zach, right on, Shinedown. Thank you, guys. And thanks for bringing Billy Idol out, because that is awesome.
Yeah, dude.
This is like one of the coolest
man,
days ever.
Have you met him before?
No.
You got to get a
losing
picture.
my mind.
Yeah, come on.
Brent, you got to get a picture with him.
I will do that 100%
like
if
Joan
he
Jett
doesn't
from a
mind.
couple
He's
years
going to
ago.
join us at the Skybox here in about 15 minutes.
Awesome.
Nice. I don't know. Were they in there when Billy was being
they
interviewed?
did cut out, and Billy came in after.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's cool. We had a really good time back there. One of the most impressive things I saw, though, was when Billy Idol, his tour bus pulled into the back lot.
Yeah.
Watching his bus driver maneuver that thing around and back it into a space.
Crazy.
Well, you couldn't pass a credit card between them.
Was insanely impressive.
Yeah. It was amazing.
It's the little things.
Yeah.
There's a lot of little things.
Yeah, they don't get the applause.
At the MMRBQ.
I want to bring out my bus driver, who's very adroit at parallel and back in parking.
I'm glad that he had a chance to bring him out on stage.
Do you think they have backup cameras on those things?
Oh, yeah, they have actually a guy who just sits back there.
Yeah.
I would think that by now, yes, they probably do. But I thought I saw him looking at his mirrors. So
just for effect. Hey, Billy, I can see you.
Right, you back it up, aren't you?
Yeah.
You never look back unless you back it up.
You still
Wait,
use your mirrors.
I still use my mirrors when I use my
with the
backup
camera. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Even if you're a pro.
Is there anything else I saw Marissa gesture?
No. It's something else.
Okay.
Our souffle is ready.
Oh, my God. Then we need to take a break. All right. Anyhow, thank you to all who came to the MMRBQ. We did a full recap of it earlier this morning, and just nothing but a wonderful day and evening and lots of love. Lots and lots of love.
So, historically speaking, the best weather categorically for any MMRBQ ever. Amazing.
Seems like it, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, so thanks to everyone. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll return in a moment. We'll wrap up the program. Letter of the day for the word of the week to begin. So stay put. We'll be right back.
And it was phenomenal because it's your daughter and you looking at each other, especially in the lingerie scene, and and she's like, "Oh, Dad!" You could just see it on her face, and you give her this loving look, and it was just beautiful.
Yeah. Well, I also have three children, and they're my daughters. Of course, they're now in their 30s, but yeah, we're a very close family. This is where I live. This is what I do. I live with my wife and three daughters, and God, do I love them all. They're just the best, and I wouldn't be alive if it weren't for them. Not to say that I was dying or something, but just, I just, that's it. I mean, I was looking at my wife this morning. I was in bed on top of her. No, I was in bed. No, I just look over, I peek over to her side of the bed, and she's out like or something, and I just love her.
Yeah, no, I absolutely understand that. What I also love, Chevy, is you love the actual describing the movie, and people are going to go see you. You're going to get your money's worth because you have tons of stories. And I did not know that the house featured in the Christmas Vacation was actually the same house used in the Lethal Weapon movies.
Well, that's right. Once we went to L.A. after getting out of that place, we had a place called the Warner Ranch. It was right across from Warner Brothers Studios. And there must have been 12 or so houses that they would use over the years. And we picked one that had a great lawn. And on the lawn, by the way, there was a toilet, just a toilet. You mentioned Lethal Weapon. That I believe there was a toilet scene at the very end where Danny
Glover.
Danny Thomas. What?
Danny Thomas, Danny Glover. Danny Glover's on the toilet. Yeah.
Like the toilet explodes or something.
Yeah.
So I said, that's got to be the house for us. And the property people had clearly forgotten to remove the toilet or just said, heck with it, and they got another house. And so I had our property people please remove the toilet. from the lawn. And then there's this scene, it's like one of the first scenes in the movie in which I fall off the roof, setting the lights up.
Right.
And I land behind this bush, and I landed on the toilet. Nobody saw that. But that's where the property people this time put it.
Oh, my God.
That's hilarious. Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, we are going to have, there's one of the stars of Christmas Vacation actually still lives in this area, and we're going to have her in studio on Monday. The young girl who played Ruby Sue, Ellen Latson's going to be here on Monday.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Yeah, so
what a little kitty.
Yeah, well, she's a grown-up now. Do you have any memories of shooting any scenes with her? Because you guys did have that really touching scene.
Beautiful.
When you were
Santa Claus.
Yeah, Santa Claus, yeah.
Yeah. We went out together after that.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm kidding.
That would have been illegal at the time.
I know, it would have been. I'll say. No, she was a lovely girl. I can't remember exactly what Ruby Sue ended up doing because I sort of lost track of her. But her name is Ellen.
Yeah.
And I hope for the best for her. She was terrific fun. Yeah.
Talking
Lovely
about
girl.
speaking of the cast, when the entire family is at the Griswolds, look at the lineup of people that were in that living room: John Randolph, Diane Ladd, E.G. Marshall, Doris Roberts, Randy Quaid, of course, William Hickley, the great Mae Questel. What a group of actors! That just must have been.
Don't forget Beverly D'Angelo.
Beverly D'Angelo, of course.
You're in trouble.
And
no, you're right. Mae Questel and John Randolph was my dad. Mae Questel. Yeah, a great group of really good actors. William Hickley was a teacher, and some of the greatest actors went to his school.
I think at that point he just won the Oscar for, was it Prizzi's Honor?
No, I didn't win it for that one, but I won it for the.
No, he did.
Oh, that's correct. I'm so sorry. Yes, he did.
Yeah. Well, having that cast at that level of capability, for in supporting roles, just made everything that much better. Now, the legend has it that you also incurred an injury during the tirade sequence with the front lawn decorations that were not working with you. Is that true?
Well, that's right. It was a rant when I was ranting about how I couldn't get the, things together and all that. And I just, from out of nowhere, decided to kick these reindeer that were on the lawn, punch them.
Right.
Because I was angry at everything. And that wasn't supposed to be in the movie. I just did it and the camera followed me. No. And I came back with a broken finger after doing it. I thought it was like made of mud or something. I didn't know what it was made of, but it certainly didn't absorb anything except my bones.
Speaking of rants, when you finally, when the dam breaks and you realize, Clark is not going to get the bonus, and you go on that, bug-eyed, fish-eyed, blah, blah, that whole thing. Yeah. Was that, had you written all that out yourself and rehearsed all of that, or was some of that just coming off the cuff while you were going through that?
No, we wrote it. Actually, I wrote it, come to think of it. And each one of those adults watching me do it, had a little card on the front of their.
That is great.
You can't see. You can look for it, but you can't see it. And so that's why I put all those words, because I couldn't remember them all. It was just too many.
And that's
great thing to know.
That's what I was wondering, because it is a lengthy string of pseudo profanities that were just all over the place. They were bizarre.
That's Brando had. That was the thing Brando did during The Godfather. He had the actors he was facing. They had cue cards on them. Because that's a string of things to remember, but it's one of the seminal scenes. And correct me if I'm wrong, Beverly D'Angelo has an improv physically when the SWAT agents come through the windows, correct?
Oh, did you say erect?
Yeah, it pertains to that.
Oh, you said correct, yeah. No, you're right. That just sort of happened. I did not feel a thing, just for those who might watch the movie. But which made me cry inside.
Oh.
And, I did not feel a thing, but that's just Bev. She just happened to do that, and so you'll see it in the movie.
That's beautiful.
You guys have such a chemistry, and we talked to her just recently, and that's. And there's obviously a real friendship there, and in that moment when you first met her and you were doing the first movie. Did you try with anyone else? Was it just were you kind of just paired with Beverly D'Angelo right from the get go and realized you had that chemistry?
Not paired. I paired.
You paired.
I interviewed quite a few girls for that role.
I see.
And that just seemed right away. So
yeah,
I chose that girl.
And I saw that you and her and Christy Brinkley were was it Comic-Con recently, or it was a convention?
A few days ago, yeah.
Does that does that happen from time to time? You know, some of the national the vacation family kind of run into each other here and there.
Not really. That just happened to be. I know why did that happen to be? It did anyway.
Yeah.
Christy and Bev are quite a couple. I won't even get into it. It's too funny.
That's awesome.
I said Randy Quaid is of course amazing in it, and Randy's taken some turns since the movie, but that he comedically for a guy who's also a tremendous actor, a dramatic actor, he just ate that role up. Was some of your dialogue improv with him as well?
I backed off a little bit and turned your volume off. Are you there?
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, we lost you for just a second.
You were saying Randy.
Randy Quaid.
I was about to say that Randy. If it weren't for Randy, I wouldn't make those movies. You know, as you said, he's a brilliant actor. Period. And he just came on. You serious, Clark? You know that guy.
Yeah.
And I do a good impression of Randy. And I just think he's such a solid guy. I spoke to him on the phone relatively recently, and he was home with his wife and child, who unfortunately is a puppy, a dog. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, but no, Randy and his, he's just a regular guy. I mean, I can't tell you, when we're walking through that grocery store and he keeps piling the dog food on the thing, I'm not going to give it all away, but that's the guy I wanted.
Yeah.
And he did that, by the way, out of nowhere. He just started piling those things on.
It's hilarious.
I picked up some light bulbs and put that there to see what would happen.
Chevy, do you have a favorite of any of the vacation movies? I mean, each one of them means something different to each one of us. Is there one that stands out to you?
Well, I like the Godfather version.
The Godfather's an American masterpiece.
Proving they still got it, man. Rolling Stones on 93.3 WMMR. That song is angry. It's a great tune.
It is.
Straight up rock and roll, man.
Yeah.
I love it. Bluesy rock right here. What they do. 10:33 in the Preston and Steve show. On this Monday morning, kind of an iffy weather day today. A little more spot of rain here and there we might get before it's all said and done. But it paves the way for some really nice weather the next couple of days. Today, high about 72, and then tomorrow, 76. Wednesday, 77. Thursday, 79, all the way up to Friday. Pretty much the same thing, and sunshine every day. So we will enjoy that thoroughly. I would like to thank everyone for joining us today, especially since we kicked off Crumb Bum Cash this morning.
Big success.
$1,000 winners left and right, and we'd like you to be one of them. Don't forget that the opportunities arise 5 times a day, Monday through Friday, and it's pretty simple. We give you a special keyword, and then we give you 15 minutes to enter that keyword, and there are a few different ways to do it, but we will do it at 8 a.m., 10 a.m., noon, 3 and 5 p.m. every single day, and it's brought to you by Horizon Services. So we kicked that off today. It was a lot of fun doing that. Speaking of fun, we had a great time on Saturday. Got to spend some time with the gentleman walking into our studio right now, Pierre Robert, and of course I speak of the MMRBQ. Hey, man, how you doing?
Yeah, Steve was totally right. I'm great, by the way. It was, I think, the best weather ever.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
We've had. It was perfect. And there have been those times where it's rained or where it looks like today. And our listeners, God bless them, come out regardless.
Didn't matter.
It doesn't matter for them. But I can't remember which one it was. How many have we had? I don't know. And it was raining up on the lawn, and people were up there in garbage bags and still hanging in there till the very end.
Yeah.
We have the greatest listeners, so
I agree.
A lot of fun.
Yep, most definitely.
And Shinedown, not only in the interview, on stage gave us a great. I don't know if we have that audio yet.
Not yet. I'm sure that stuff is kind of still being gathered from the on stage moments, but yeah.
And what a production! I got a sunburn from all the pyro. I mean, you can feel the pyro
full show
into the whole first section.
Yeah,
there was so much pyro and fires and explosions every time. Even though I knew it was coming, it would make me jump. So, and a lot of we had cool chats with Billy and. Also with Shinedown themselves, she played a little moment of it, and then all the artists talked to us, which is cool.
Yeah,
backstage. So we'll play some of that back today.
There was a moment where, and I didn't share this, but Billy Idol took his shirt off.
I saw that
when he was on stage, but he did it with his back to the audience. So he takes off his vest. And then he starts taking off his shirt, and of course the crowd goes crazy. But then he put a jacket on over that before he turned around. He's still total rock and roll, man.
Oh, yeah. He is, and artists don't always freely give their age. In our conversation, he says, "I'm 67."
Yeah,
and which is pretty cool. And he and Steve Stevens and the rest of the band, the bass player. Although I kept thinking that he was like in Leonard Skinner or Molly Hatchet.
Yeah.
He did not look like a Brit,
Yeah.
It was, but I mean, they sounded great. Every band did.
By the way, our 17th MMRBQ.
Oh, cool.
17.
Just got handed that. So,
all right, cool.
Full on success. All right, letter of the day then?
Yes.
All right, let me get you set. Here we go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
And the Preston and Steve show is brought to you today by The Letter.
M as in Monday.
All right, we have this really great setup this week for the Word of the Week prize. It's a 4-pack of great seats, VIP parking, and VIP club access as Four Walls presents the Always Sunny podcast live. It is this Saturday, September 23rd at the Mann Center. And, of course, we, the Preston and Steve Show, welcome the gang back to Philadelphia. Tickets are on sale now via Ticketmaster, should you want to get those, and you should, absolutely. What's up on the program today?
Thank you for asking. We'll have workforce blocks of Jimi Hendrix and Ramones and some Tool and a lot of MMRBQ flashbacks as we have them. We will play those back for you, too.
Excellent.
Wonderful. Oh, and the Crumb Bum Cash.
That's right.
Which you guys started.
So you get it at noon, and then it happens at 3 and 5 today, so do not miss it. Thank you to our sponsors. The Preston and Steve Show brought to you by Duncan. The Preston and Steve Show runs on Duncan. Also brought to you by Wilmington University. Find your education home at Wilmington University, wilmu.edu. Tomorrow on our program, more of the Crumb Bum Cash.
Yes.
Our buddy Jim Florentine will be stopping by. He'll be in the studio, so we'll spend some time with him. I'm sure we'll find a thing or two to talk about besides all that as well. That's it. We are done. Rage on and have a great day, and we'll see you, gang. Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.